Start right here, right?
Yeah.
And here we are back for the very third time.
Third or fourth?
The very
might be
third.
fourth.
It could be the fifth.
All right.
Seventh time.
You know how we do. The 17th time because it's
Oh,
volume
shit.
17
Well,
of
that's
the
right.
Tool Shed.
The Tool Shed.
I'm Sean Cove Train.
I'm Biz Mighty Marston House.
And the guy across from me is.
Payday Jones.
Day
And
Jones.
as-
Wait, now I don't have to say it?
I'm sorry.
I don't know what
We're all confused.
I got all the cues are
We
fucked
do
up
it
here.
different every
Shooting
time.
from the hip. And as we speak, not only is Payday giving me live feedback, but I'm also getting live feedback from the people on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Telling me that the first batch of Cell Block 71's Contraband Cello
Right.
Word.
is a little too chocolatey, which is what I thought as well.
I don't know that it's necessarily that it's too chocolatey, but it's the combination of being that chocolatey and being viscous like that. Like if it was thinner but that flavor, I don't think people would say so much that it's too chocolatey.
I don't love the chocolatey.
Right.
I do like the thickness.
Okay.
Because I feel like
then you-
every time I've had chocolate cello, it's just they bring it out at a fancy Italian restaurant and they give
Right.
it to you after dinner, and
Yeah.
it's a fucking dessert.
It's a dessertif.
It's a dessert in a cup. And
Right.
so keep an eye out for a county jail near you that might be coming soon. 7-1 Chocolate-cello.
That's probably the way to go. Get it in there, get them all enjoying themselves for the holidays.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see you in front of me. I didn't know what to do with myself without seeing you on Friday.
I was brokenhearted. I was sitting there like a kid without school on a weekday, and then everything was just thrown off for the rest of the weekend. My wife didn't know I was home. My kid kept asking
They were
me
like,
when
"What the
I was
hell are
leaving."
you doing
Yeah,
here?"
You're supposed to leave
Yeah.
now, Dad?
Can't you get the hell out of here for a little while?
We're trying to watch our shows
We
without
got
you.
some things going on that you're like kind of cramping our style.
You just bring the
Man.
mood down.
But now we're here on our favorite show on Monday with our favorite guest. Biz got kicked out of shotgun. No, he's sitting shotgun. He got kicked out of the driver's seat today because you were late and I just sat here.
I wasn't really late.
That's what the
No,
foreman
you weren't
does.
late, but you said you were going to be late. So
I
just
said I was going to be cutting it close.
yeah. But
So
you're
we-
here now, and
we-
that's what matters.
I was
babe.
here at 8 o'clock.
You're
prepped-
here
we prepped as
naked
if.
footed with a naked foot inside of a loafer.
Hey, man, it's amongst friends, family. You know what I mean?
Fair
Are they
enough.
going to be able to hear me on this microphone? Can I
you
talk
sound-
loud?
No,
No, you sound good to me.
All right.
Why, do you sound crazy to you?
No, I just hate this mic.
Yeah, I understand how you feel.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not the mic you're usually on. That mic actually does what you like about the
How-
mic, which is facing forward.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
how he feels about that mic
You feel about the other one.
is how I feel about
I
that
like
mic.
that mic, but it's not. It's doing wind
It's
tunnel
doing some
stuff.
weird shit, yeah.
Yeah, that's Payday's bike from back in the days.
That is.
You hear this crazy shit that happened just hours ago in Wisconsin?
Yeah, this guy, you can't fucking have a parade in the streets anymore.
Not a holiday parade.
No,
anyway.
man, get that Christmas shit the fuck out of here.
So I guess the word that I just did a quick, I only saw real quickly. So what I saw, which I don't know what kind of truth there is to anything anymore, so who knows what truth there is to this.
Well, I'll tell you this. There's probably something really going on. You know what I mean? And that's why we're hearing about this. Go ahead.
you know that's how it goes. That's why we've been hearing about Kyle Rittenhouse
Yeah,
rather
what
than Ghislaine Maxwell's
No,
trial.
but who was the guy? You probably know this. Who was the guy who was like the cop, the black cop who got beat? He got ran down by like fucking 5 rednecks and killed, like ripped out of his car. I think he got killed. Maybe he just got beat senseless.
Are you talking about Rodney King?
No. Recently, this is like a recent thing. Like the trial's still going on. I think he was like a cop or a lieutenant or something. I think he was of some kind of high government, not government, but he was something.
He had some stain.
He got ran down by like a bunch of rednecks and like ripped out of his car. And I think he might have been killed or just got beaten the shit out of or something like that.
Where was this at? Where did it happen?
Hey, Aubrey.
Oh, Ahmad?
Ahmad?
Aubrey Ahmad?
Yeah. Yes. Was that guy a cop or am I messing up a bunch of shit.
I think you're mixing some shit together.
I'm mixing shit together. But wasn't there a black guy that got beaten up by a bunch of redneck Confederate flag waving?
I got a black guy who got beaten up by a bunch of cops, but we're not looking for that right now.
I mean, that isn't that a daily occurrence?
Unfortunately, it is.
It happens every time you blink your eyes.
I sent you the link if you want to share it. It's in your text message. You
I
just
thought
gotta
I shared it, but
I don't know if you did or not. I'm just sending it to you.
I'll share it again, dude. I don't.
Aubrey Ahmad was not a cop. He was just a guy.
He was just a kid.
All right.
He was a guy who got
But he
shot
was-
by some rednecks.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah.
And
Okay.
initially, I think they tried to make the claim that he was threatening them, and then once they were up on the stand, they basically recanted that part of it. And at least one of the guys was like, he was never a threat and he never had a gun, and
Right.
this is where we're at.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you are correct that, and I used to think that was a conspiracist way to look at things, like, oh, they're pushing this story so you don't watch that. But it clicked to me today when somebody told me that the Ghislaine Maxwell trial is also going on, and we haven't heard anything about that. They're pushing this Kyle Rittenhouse shit to further the divide that they love to do. The media loves to sell the fucking fear and the divide.
I'm gonna be honest with you. People hit me up this whole week saying you should talk. Well, like 3 or 4 people hit me up saying I would like to hear your take on the Kyle Rittenhouse thing.
I'd like to hear your take too. Hit me with it.
Well, my initial take is that we're fucking putting this thing out there just to divide people.
Yeah.
That's my initial
I'm
take.
sure that there's at least 60% of it is for that.
Yeah.
So at which inflection point is this happening? Did someone pay Kyle Rittenhouse to go shoot somebody, or is it just once that occurred, then they decided
the
how
trial.
to disseminate the information?
The trial being brought up and being blasted across, and the way that things are framed, I think, is where that idea comes from of and whether it's like with the purpose of, hey, if we frame this and play this story this way, it's going to further divide. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, even though it works that way. I think the case is more like, hey, fear, anger, and uprise sells tickets to the fucking news. That gets viewers. So
negativity does in general.
But they broadcast the trial live. Mm-hmm. So I guess if you're only getting your information in small doses from certain places, I could see what you're saying.
Most people are.
But
though.
you have. If it's something you're interested in, all of the information is available to you to come to your own conclusions.
How many people do you think watch the whole thing?
But what I'm saying is this same media that you're accusing of wanting to divide and separate us is also giving you the entire picture if you want to spend the time to look into it. So is it the media that's feeding that, or is it you?
I think that we know, right? We know that most people. I'll put a percentage that 90% of people, and it might be higher, are not going to sit down, and they don't have time in their life to watch a whole live trial and sort through it.
Okay.
So they're getting piecemeal. I wasn't even trying to pay attention to it.
Right.
But I'm getting pieces of the trial come through YouTube and shit like that, and have no choice but to, I have the choice, but I'll check it out. They got me because there was a John titled Judge Reams Prosecutor a New Asshole, and I'm like, oh, this is the kind of shit I like.
This is my shit.
You guys got what I want.
Right.
You know? So I think, it's that the whole trial is going to sell tickets because of the nature of it.
Okay.
And you heard things like how this is a racial issue, right? Which then as it unfolds, it's not.
Oh, no, it is. It 100% is.
Hear him out. Well, how is that a racial issue?
He took a gun to a BLM rally to shoot people. I mean, we can talk about any other part of it that you want, and I'll have a nuanced conversation with you. Mm-hmm. But he picked up a gun a week after saying, "I wish I had my AR on me now so I could shoot these people," while watching black people come in and out of a CVS. Picked up a gun, went to another state where he knew this particular protest was happening. It was a BLM protest, and basically, in my opinion on this one, put himself in a situation that he was kind of like hoping someone would do something to him so he could shoot them. So it 100%.
And here goes.
The backbone of it is the racial part.
Right. This is the pieces. Right.
Okay.
because you heard he went to another state. You didn't hear that he has family, his father, who lives in that city.
What does that have to do with anything?
Right, and you heard that his mother drove him across state lines,
Right.
which also turned out to not be true.
I didn't see that become not true at any point.
This is what I heard.
Okay.
Right, this is the thing. Here's where we go with every one of these issues.
Right.
Whichever side you want to play is the side that you can play.
I mean,
you can if you want to. Here's the thing: if somebody pointed a gun at it comes down to this for me. If
Right.
someone pointed a gun at this kid,
Right.
and he shot them,
Right.
and you have the stand my ground law or whatever in Wisconsin,
Okay.
then he stood his ground.
All right. So
But
That-
here,
to-
hold on,
to-
listen.
well, to
forget,
me, actually,
we
to-
can get to that.
to me, okay, because that's the most interesting
but what I'm-
conversation about this to me.
But what I'm saying is, any piece, any which way that you want to look at it, if you want to look at it from the left side, there's media outlets that will allow you to paint the picture from the left side.
Okay.
If you want to look at it from the right side, there's media outlets that will allow you to paint the picture from the right side.
Okay. I'm not arguing that idea.
Right. Now, most people, right, for whatever reason, become biased to a side rather than biased to the truth.
Sure. But it comes,
right?
it's
It
back
ties
to
into
your,
what they're scared of.
But it also goes back to your first point where you're getting that trickle down shit. You're
Right.
getting it down the stream. You're not getting people watching the trial. You're getting people with their bias, whatever the fuck they follow and whatever their
Right.
algorithm is telling them to follow.
So-
that is telling them to feel a certain kind of way.
So if
when
you're-
in reality, hold on.
Oh, yeah.
When in reality, no one is really on either side. Here's my side. The dude is allowed to stand his ground if he wants to. He's a 17-year-old kid that put himself in this fucking position.
Stupid
So he
choice.
shouldn't have fucking done it.
Yeah.
He's a child.
Yeah.
All right? And you're a fucking child for a long fucking time after 17. So you're like in my head, you know what I mean? You have
Yeah.
a lot of growing to do. You will be tried as an adult, whatever. So you put yourself in a shitty position. I don't know what his what his correlation is with the fucking auto park that he was hanging out at, because that's what he was at. He was at this auto world, right?
Right.
So I don't know if there's any correlation where his dad that was his auto place, or that was his
Right.
his quote unquote uncle's auto place. So I don't know.
Was that what the word? Was that what?
No,
one
no,
of the
I
words
don't
was?
know. I
Okay.
just know the word was that he was patrolling this auto world, right? Where they were flipping cars and throwing them on fire and all this shit.
Right.
Also, obscene behavior that's not necessarily on this track here. You know what I mean? That's not what we're discussing. You know what I mean? It wasn't a peaceful protest. It was a riot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was a riot.
Right.
Regardless of how you feel about the political views on either side. The kid's 17 years old. He shouldn't have a fucking AR.
He shouldn't be out there.
He shouldn't be out
Yeah.
there. And if he's worried about his father, he should be at his father's house. You know what I mean? Protect your ground, not protect the auto park.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's shit that can be held up on that side of the bargain. However, he didn't shoot any black people. He shot white people.
Right.
If he would have shot black people, I'd say you have a point.
Right.
You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, the guy was out there, race motives. Taking a picture with the Proud Boys or whatever afterwards doesn't really build your fucking case,
No,
buddy.
doesn't
but
help you.
it also isn't part of your case.
Right.
Because it didn't precede what happened.
Right.
Regardless of what might have been said, listen, regardless of what might have been said in the prior or whatever the case may be, the reality of the situation is this. He had a gun pointed at him. He ran scared. And as a 17-year-old kid with an AR-15, he protected himself. Period. Secondly, he put himself in this shitty fucking position that he shouldn't have been in, and he knew damn well what the fuck would have happened, especially when he grabbed an AR-15 and went
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
So, it's both.
I'm in complete concurrence with you,
It's
right?
both bad things. It's
I think
both things.
It starts with you're being a 17-year-old idiot
You're
by
an
saying
idiot.
any grown men, like let's take this, right? Riots are happening in Philly.
Right.
There was a certain friend of ours who said, "Hey, I'm going down there." And I said, "You are out of your fucking mind."
Okay.
What purpose is that going to serve you or anybody else except that you're asking for trouble, right? You're asking to get yourself involved in a situation that turns out trouble, as we could see by what happened with this kid, right? He showed up and got the trouble that he was looking for. So off the rip, you're an idiot, kid, but
Yeah.
you're a kid, and
Right.
kids do dumb shit. If I'm living right now off of the decisions I made at 17, I don't have any of this,
Right.
right? I'm fucked.
Sure.
So tried it as an adult, whatever. You know, you shoot somebody, you kind of got to be tried as an adult, especially at 17. If you're 11 and you shoot somebody, different story. At 17,
Okay.
you know you're not supposed to fucking shoot anybody. However, it comes down to the fact that if there's a stand your ground law, you get a gun pointed at you and you shoot somebody because you're standing your ground, then you have to be proved innocent.
That's
you have
why-
to if I'm sitting in the jury,
if-
I have to say you were innocent.
What if you're not allowed to be having that gun? What if just
Yeah, but
by definition, the law says you are underage, and the only reasons that you can be holding a gun, none of them apply here. So you should not have a gun in your
But
hand.
I don't
at
know
all.
that that's necessarily true
I'm
in the
telling you it
situation.
is. Wisconsin, for underage people for guns, there's it's three things. I think it's military training, it's at a target practice in a range, or hunting. So of those three things, I think it's fair to say, regardless of which side you're on, he was doing none of those things unless you really want to get nefarious about it and say he was hunting. But that's neither here nor there.
Or military training. I mean, he's in a fucking state of duress and a state of emergency.
Well, no, organized military training.
Okay, all right. He was vigilante military training.
Okay, well,
he was vigilante
all right,
hunting.
Yeah, so I guess that falls under military.
17-year-old
Right.
vigilantes really have no right to be vigilantes. Is my opinion on the matter.
Right.
But as I watched, once again, not the entire trial, but really the part that I watched was the prosecutors.
Right.
Because the prosecutors it seemed to be not
good.
Yeah.
They were not
They
good.
were making point for the defense.
But I think
constantly.
So here's the problem, right? So, trying to take any bias out of it and just learn from it. Going into the trial, it was my feeling that he'd be found innocent, not necessarily because he was, but because the entirety of this thing hinges on his intent. And intent is so fucking hard to prove in court. So if my whole case rests on he wanted to be there because he wanted to get into a gunfight, because he wanted to shoot somebody, I have to prove that. And that's a really fucking tough thing to prove unless he made a video, hi, I'm Kyle Rittenhouse, this is my license, and I want to go shoot people, so hopefully they'll shoot at me. Like, it's so fucking hard to prove intent. So even if you want to side with him and say, no, that wasn't his intent.
Did you see any of the video breakdown?
I did.
Because
I did. And I think
he does look like a 17-year-old kid running scared. He put
does.
himself in the position to be a 17-year-old kid running scared.
Right.
But
so this is like this part of the conversation is
So here goes the problem with the law.
Right.
The law, it says that it's poorly drafted, and there is some, because if it was cold, easy, black and white in the law, then he'd be being charged with having a firearm at least, right? So and also the fact is that they didn't charge. That wasn't on the charge sheet. Now, if that's
it was on the charge sheet, but they took it off in the scope of the trial.
So then that wasn't on the charge sheet.
Well, it wasn't on
the charge sheet. It wasn't what we're talking about.
Right. It wasn't what was being prosecuted. Absolutely, I agree with that. But
Now,
it was taken off during the trial, though.
If there's not clear-cut law, which it looks like apparently that section of the law that's written is a little foggy,
Okay,
and allows a 16 and 17-year-old to own a rifle so that they can hunt.
Okay.
Right? So it doesn't say that they can't own it. They can own it.
right.
Then it gets foggy. If you're allowed to have it and you use it in a stand your ground situation,
Right.
then I think we're okay there. I don't think that it's a good. Again, we go back to this is a terrible idea off the rip. But if they say like, hey, you're allowed to have this because you want to hunt, they're not giving it to a 23-year-old and saying, hey, you can have this because so you can stand your ground in case of a riot.
Now,
they're given to him under the same circumstance.
I hear what you're saying, and if I go along with what you're saying, I would feel differently if he was in his house, right, and somebody broke in and he grabbed the gun even though he's not supposed to have a gun and he shot somebody. I would say, well, he's in his house protecting his house,
Yeah, 100%.
and I'm going to give him a much wider berth when it comes to that
if my
sort of thing.
7-year-old daughter does that, she should be fucking celebrated as a hero.
Right.
I don't care how old
Yeah.
you are. If you're standing your ground, you stand your fucking ground.
So
the gray area comes in that it's not his fucking ground.
It's not his ground, and
It's him.
it's America, so you belong wherever you want to be, but he didn't belong there. Right, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But neither did But we can say the
Sure.
same of the victim.
Right. Yeah. But And I got what you're saying.
Nobody should have been there.
Nobody should have been there at all.
But also,
we knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that the one group was going to be there for sure. Which then means if you're going to be there, you're choosing to be in the middle of it. So the question, the debate is, at what point is you sticking your neck where you shouldn't be your fault?
So
right? So you walk into a bar, you walk into a known biker, I don't know, a known biker bar.
it is his fault.
Right? And you walk into that bar and you go, fuck Harley Davidson. And somebody comes and fucking beats the brakes off of you, and on the way out, you break his leg. Right? Are you, like, should anybody celebrate you for having broken his leg? Like, you were a dumb fuck for being in there, and the shit beating that you took that's
your
the
fault.
problem. It's your fault.
Well, this is the problem.
You know what I mean?
Is that nobody, I'm not saying that this kid should be celebrated.
Right.
I'm not agreeing.
Oh, I'm not even looking for celebration. I'm just talking
well, that's
like,
what you're saying.
yeah,
should you be celebrated,
I did say
right?
that.
I don't think you should be celebrated, but
Should you
if
not-
someone beats the fuck out of you
Right.
and you break their leg, your hands should be wiped clean. Everybody walks away. You got a broken leg. You got beat the fuck up. You know, like you both were in the wrong place starting the thing that you shouldn't have started. Now we escalate that to a level where somebody lost their lives, and that's fucking terrible.
Right.
But if that's the concept you want to run with, we're in the same spot there.
I have trouble with that on the broad scale, because now I feel like what that's saying, if I'm not mistaken, is I can basically go and antagonize anyone I want. And if they attempt to strike back at me, I can now murder them and be of clear conscience when I do it, because they came at me after I antagonized them. And it seems like a very weird position for the law to take.
Yeah,
To say, hey, if you go here and you fucking start yelling at people and you fucking start shit, and somebody doesn't like that you started shit and tries to come at you, and then you kill them, well, what else were you gonna do? Of course they came. But
yeah, because they should, right? Let's
Right.
take this like legally. They should say, "Man, fuck this guy," and walk away.
Sure.
Right?
I
So
agree.
now if they do start coming, if I come at you to hurt you because I can't walk away from the words you're saying,
Right.
and I come at you because you get me so frustrated, I want to fucking knock your head off your shoulders, and you respond and beat me up, kill me, whatever the case is, this is my fault, because I should have said, like, you know what, this shit don't mean a goddamn thing. I'm walking out of here. Right?
So-
I shouldn't be, as a grown man,
Sure.
I should not be able to be antagonized to violence.
So what's your threshold for that? Somebody pulls a gun on you, you pull a gun on them, they shoot you, aren't they just defending themselves?
If somebody
They pull a gun on you, you pull a gun on them
then I better shoot 'em
retaliation.
first.
Well, you don't. They win.
then I'm an idiot.
They're better with the gun than you are.
If somebody pulls a gun on me,
Right.
and I have a ratchet
You
tucked
go
in
to
the
reach
pocket,
for the ratchet, and they get you before you get to your ratchet. You were now threatening to kill them. Is it okay that they killed you?
I think this comes down
This
to
gets weird, right?
Yeah, this comes down to exactly how it played out, like
Okay.
the exact minutia of it.
So,
right
like,
now, but also, if you pull a gun on me, and when I go to pull on you, you shoot and I die.
Right.
We could go either way with it.
I don't feel like we can. I understand, and I'm not. Like,
And it's then
I'm not saying
then we put 12 people in a box and say, hey,
Right.
out of the 12 of you, what do you think this
Right.
is?
And I'm not, I'm not saying your position is necessarily wrong. I get where you're going with it. But like even in hockey, right? We get into a fight in hockey. There's the penalty for the two people who fought because two people fought, and then there's an actual instigator penalty for the person who started this shit. They get worse. They get penalized worse than the guy who just participated.
Yeah, but then
that makes sense.
But then, okay, in the
So-
Rittenhouse
so
case,
he
now
should-
you have to decide who's the instigator.
He is.
I should have watched the fucking film because I knew this was going to come up,
Well,
and I did not. right?
But
however,
I'm going
'cause-
bigger scale than just the film you would have seen.
well,
I'm saying
but you're missing a point here.
Okay.
You are missing part
I
of
may
it.
be. I may be.
Is that if there's shit popping off in fucking, where do you live? What's Mayfair?
Holmesburg.
Biz and his chimney business that he owns.
Right.
Is it? No. Matter of fact, shit's popping off in Lindenwold, right?
Okay.
Now, we're making bank off of this joint.
Right.
Or I'm making bank. And I say, Biz, shit's getting crazy over here. Now, Biz is an honorable guy, and in reality, this may or may not happen because he's a father and he thinks through shit.
Right.
But maybe he says, I'm coming over. I got your back. I'm going to come help you out. And he stands post so that our house doesn't get burnt down and I don't lose my business and my life savings. Then Biz is a solid dude on my side.
I hear you.
Or somebody can paint him as, well, why shouldn't he have just let his man take care of his own shit?
Well, so let me take the Biz story and just take one piece and just change it a little bit, because I think what you said there, again, just like I said, if he was in his house when he did this, I would feel very differently about it.
Right.
So instead of Biz is coming here to help you out because you're his boy and he feels like if I can help him stay alive, that's something I should do. That's my people. He went to Connecticut because he heard there was a bunch of chimney sweeps there that kept getting attacked on the streets. So he went to Connecticut to a bunch of chimney sweeps that he's never met in his life and just stood ground and said, I'm going to make sure you motherfuckers don't get jumped today. Do you feel differently when he doesn't have any ties to it beyond very tangentially, I'm also a chimney sweep?
I'm not exactly sure that's not the...
I'll ask you this. I got one, right? Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Is that... Now, if you're walking down the street,
right,
and a gentleman is beating up his wife, who's 5'2", and he's fucking 6'2", beating the piss out of his wife. Now, you walk over there to help out. Are you supposed to, to save this girl? Are you being honorable, or are you sticking your nose where it's not supposed to be?
I think you're being honorable.
Right.
But again,
I'm sure that Kyle Rittenhouse thought he was being honorable.
But again, you now described where I came upon it randomly, right? Like it still would be different. Like if I was, okay, there's a house across the street and I've heard that guy likes to beat his wife on Tuesdays. So every Tuesday I'm just going to park out front of the house and wait till he cocks back and I'm going to beat the fuck out of him. It's less honorable at that point because you're now hunting human beings.
You're right. But if that guy around the corner likes to beat the shit out of his wife, and the guy who lives across the street says, hey, he came home, he's about to beat the shit out of his wife,
right,
you should get over here.
You're right. You're the guy across the street. Again, you're making it where it makes sense that you're there in the first place before the violence is happening.
Yeah, but we don't know unequivocally that this guy doesn't have any connections to this fucking auto place or whatever the fuck, this car dealership. I don't remember it getting brought up in the trial. I didn't watch the entire trial. I do not know. But I would assume, because without it makes sense. Now, assuming is, what it does.
Yeah.
But I would think that the guy would have some kind of connection to this place with his father living 20 minutes away from this auto world, that at least maybe it's his Uncle Jesse type deal. You know what I mean?
So I know we don't want to talk about this all night, so let me give you 2 quick questions and then, I'll be done with it. So if it turns out that was his uncle's best friend's place versus if you learned that there was absolutely no one within that 20-mile radius that he had ever had any contact with in his life, does that factor into your thought process on what happened?
No, well, here. He's wrong for going where he didn't belong at 17 years old with an assault rifle, period.
Right.
The people were also... I don't think that anyone that's doing any of this, if I'm just being completely honest, out here on a ledge butt naked, I don't think anybody out here fucking flipping a car, civil distress, whatever the fucking case may be, is a mentally sound individual. Because I think that, and listen, I'm white and look at my privilege. I don't think that you're okay, thus the people he shot being fucking renowned pedophiles and criminals. Not that matters. But it should, a little bit.
Listen, they're
just
actually
because of this.
They're minor attracted people.
Whatever.
They're maps.
Whatever.
You didn't hear this? Did you hear this one?
No. I saw that idiot lady.
We'll get into that.
But no, I'm just saying, like you're no one is of mental soundness
to go light some shit on fire.
That's going there at all.
Right.
That was like the whole thing with the BLM, and I heart bled for people, and I felt things, and I was emotional. And listen, you could turn a tear in church, and I'm not a religious person at all. It just happens. You can feel things and be a human being. I get it. But at the same time, when the fucking cops are right here, and everyone goes to where the cops are, that doesn't seem like a protest to me. That seems like you're fucking starting some shit.
Yeah.
And so shit's gonna fucking happen. I'm sorry. That's what happens when you go to a place to start some shit. Shit gets started.
Yeah.
So, like... Same situation. Yes, I do think that if he were to go somewhere to protect his Uncle Jesse or his dad's good friend who maybe is, got no feet or whatever, you know what I mean? And try to
even if that was a 100% healthy person, he went to go help.
He went to go help. I do think that there is a little bit more. I'm not saying I'm going to celebrate him or he's a fucking hero, but a little bit more justification.
Okay.
The guy who just fucking shows up where he hears that there's cars being turned around and blown up on fire and says, "Hey man, I got to do something." Listen, he's fucking 17 years old. He's fucking 17 years old, dude. If I was raised in a different part of the country with a different kind of upbringing or whatever, that could be me at 17 years old. I'm just saying.
Okay.
It's not a fucking, I don't think I have the balls, to be honest. I think I would have been running scared in a fucking basement at my dad's house. You know what I mean? I would have been scared at home, let alone fucking out there with it. So the problem with the separation and the problem with the illusion is things are painted a certain way, and then other people have to go beat their chest and say, Kyle Rittenhouse is a fucking American hero. You motherfuckers don't. And it's like, dude, you guys are all missing the point. It's left wing, right wing. It's fucking.
It's neither
it's separation.
Nor.
It's not real.
The reason and this goes back to what we discussed at the start is like the idea of this being pushed as separation. Erase BLM from it. Erase the Second Amendment. Erase all of the political things around it. And then look at it, right?
Well, if you take, if you erase the political leanings around it, you're looking at the story and probably feeling bad for a 17-year-old kid. Why the fuck he got it? Why did you get yourself into this situation? You fucking idiot. You need some better guidance.
If you take those components out of it, then he's just a straight murderer. We don't have much of a discussion.
No. If you take those components out of it,
right, he's a murderer.
Then he's a standard.
He's a guy who went out in the streets and shot somebody.
He stood his ground.
So is every war vet. You know what I mean? Like, so is literally anyone who's ever killed anyone is a murderer.
That's why all the other components matter to the discussion.
But I'm saying if we're watching a movie and the movie is this thing, by the way, this live is only broadcasting to people that are following the Gig podcast channel. So I don't know if that affects anything, but I'm just saying. When I share it, it says it's private. Anyway, so if you're I lost my train of thought because I was trying to get a point across to that point because I thought it was important.
A point about the point with the point?
The point, I think, is that...
All right, hold on. I got it.
Go ahead.
If you're watching a movie,
right.
If I'm watching Law and Order,
okay,
right, and this is the story, and the story doesn't have any real leaning bias or any real leaning because it's fake. It's make-believe. It's a movie.
Okay.
It's TV.
All right.
I'm watching it. And I watch what I've seen, which is not A to Z of this fucking trial. But if I'm watching the part that they're putting on TV, I'm going, this guy's innocent. He stood his ground. Regardless of any other leaning things. Now, we're not talking about Facebook, and we're not talking about this, and I'm not talking about worried about making enemies for speaking my mind. I'm saying that if I'm just watching it, like I would watch Law and Order SVU on the edge of my seat, and I understand that's not fucking exactly how things work, but I'm sitting there and I'm going, this guy's innocent. They're not going to get this guy. There's not enough information on this guy to call him guilty. So when the prosecutors are sitting there making a fucking point for the defense, that's all you really need, dude.
Right.
I mean, when the prosecutors are up there, it's like when you call your star witness and the star witness goes, yeah, he did it. You know what I mean? Or, vice versa, obviously, in this case. Right. But I'm just saying, it's like, oh, you fucked up.
The case was terrible. But like I said, going into it, it was my suspicion that he would be found not guilty because the entire thing hinges on his intent, and it's just incredibly difficult to prove that.
The part that bothered me the most, just on an outside, on a I live on this planet type thing, was the jurors being afraid to drop a verdict in the fear of mob mentality outside of it, and the fear of what this might do. You know what I mean? That's what scares me because that's that TMZ generation.
That can sway what reality is.
Right, and that's where we're at right now.
Yeah,
that's where we're at in general is TMZ. We're in TMZ world. We're in
the Twitter sphere.
Jamal Lewis.
We're in the metaverse.
We're in the metaverse. Jamal Lewis loses his job before even going to trial. You know what I mean? Not to say that we didn't see the video. I'm saying that they put something out on TV and all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, we got to stand clear of this guy.
Yeah.
Without anything being said because people are afraid of the backlash.
Yeah.
Afraid of the backlash shouldn't have anything to do with our law. It just shouldn't.
It shouldn't, and that's why.
That's what bothers me here.
In my estimation, there should not be jurors should not be so random. Jurors should be a professional job that you do once you've proven that you have the the capacity to do it.
But then you're going to
I don't
have.
know, because then you fall into that same
Well-
problem that prosecutors have.
Sure,
Right?
You're not wrong, but so your issues are either A, people making decisions out of fear, or people making decisions for reasons that benefit their career. And I don't know which is worse. They're both bad, but I would think that people making decisions out of fear is worse, because then at that point it sounds like you can just coerce anybody into saying anything as long as you can put enough fear in their heart.
Well, are the jurors? Is it public knowledge who the jurors were in this case?
Once they're picked, yeah, because it's on
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah.
So you can at least see faces, and then from there, these days, that's all you need.
Yeah, and well, I mean, I think the easy way to solve that, at least, is you put the jurors in a black box and don't, do a little bit to make them anonymous, so that way they don't have that fear.
They can watch from a back room on a TV.
Yeah. They don't have that fear, because that is crazy because let's say this kid is, they found him innocent.
Right.
Let's
they
say
found him not guilty.
Right. Which is innocent.
No.
So let's say besides this case, right? Besides everything surrounding it, this is just let's say this. Let's say he's a black kid in the hood who's railroaded into one of these charges that happens continuously in the justice system, right? But there's some kind of outside mentality or outside push on the jurors saying, like, if you convict him, we're kicking up dust. Where the fuck was I going?
You're talking about the fear influencing the
mob
jurors.
mentality.
Yeah, I know. And then I just I smoked a lot of PCP back in 2002, and
I understand.
sometimes I
Yeah.
just be forgetting.
It catches up, yeah.
I think that the fear is you got to be able to help the jurors out so that they can make a decision, because if they succumb to the fear, and this is a different case where it's like clear cut, like this is just the system railroading somebody, right? And then they succumb to the fear. Now we know how to get anybody off, right?
It's the same
we
thing.
know how to continuously get.
It's the mafia, bro. It's fucking Joey Bag of Donuts in the other side of the courtroom cracking his knuckles looking at the jurors. Only it's big time.
Right.
Only it's fucking 1,000, 1,000,000, half the fucking United States.
Right.
You know what I mean? A
Right.
separated, perfectly, precisely separated half the United States.
Right. And so now this comes back to the idea of the separation of it all, right? Is now that this so United We Stand doesn't exist anymore. Right? Like, United We Stand as we know it is like falling apart by the day.
Because once again, we go back to that same thing where we started here, and it's not about people actually paying attention to this trial. Because even, and I hate to say it, like, I'm not trying to be a dickhead.
Say it, Daddy.
Payday being like me and you will side on certain things in a certain way, right?
Yeah.
In general, Payday's a little, and I respect you for it. I respect you for being you, right? And I'm not saying I'm you're a shit person. I'm a shit person.
He's not going to take it offensive when
It's
you call
nice.
him a liberal.
I'm just saying that it's like, where am I going with this? Even Payday said when given the trial, you would think that he'd be found innocent. Am I correct?
Going into the trial, I was sure.
But watching the trial, even more so, right? Because the prosecutor, the prosecutor was making points for the defense.
The case was even worse than I had imagined it would be, and I already imagined he was coming out not guilty.
Okay, so that's a different way than I would word it, but similarly, the end is the same. Right. Where it's like, regardless, it's this, right? But you have people that don't watch any of the trial. They watch their boy or someone that they respect or an influencer
they watch a YouTube channel.
or their favorite news outlet post something, and then they side with that. They don't watch any of it, but they just post it. They just post a thing,
right?
And that's it. And then they get mad at anyone else. And literally, there was like a study, like whatever it was, not so long ago, where it was like 70% of people that are posting articles aren't even reading the article. They're just posting the article because it's a clickbait article. So then it sets up the algorithm, and everything's just fucking goes from there. So you got fucking half of your friends saying this negative thing, and half your friends saying this negative thing. Whether it's negative or positive, it doesn't really matter. But you're saying this thing or this thing, and because it's conflicting, it's going to get clicks. just like anything is set with clickbait. It's like so-and-so and so-and-so argue to the death about this. And then you listen to the clip and it's like, oh, they're boys.
Yeah.
They're not fucking arguing to the death. I clicked on it because I thought I was going to hear these people fucking toss each other around and shit. And in reality, they're like joeing it up and laughing and yucking it up.
Yeah.
They're not fucking arguing to the death. And then you got someone making a comment about it that says, oh shit, did you hear what so-and-so said about so-and-so? And it's like, did you fucking listen to it, bro?
Right,
Because
right,
he didn't
right.
say shit. They're boys.
Because none of it is what you think it is.
And then, once again, it's fucking politics.
but
it's
it
the same
becomes
shit.
it becomes a
George Bush and fucking Barack Obama are fucking hitting the back nine.
Right.
They don't fucking hate each other, buddy. They're in the same fucking. They're colleagues.
they're playing the same game. It becomes a thing that like people want to prove who's right. Right? They want like my side is right. My side is right.
Right.
And then they're on the other side it's trying to do whatever they can, hell or high water, to say no, my side is right. When nobody cares about what the truth is in the middle, right? Like there's few people who not few, but the people who care about the truth in the center sit back and listen. Right? So we're hearing my side is right over here. My side is right. My side is right. This side is right. And you're not hearing the people who are the smartest of the people, right? Who sit back and say like, all right, I hear you and I hear you. Now let me like figure out, because the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Not only just that, though. Not only just figuring it out, but also using your own two fucking eyes and making your own fucking judgment. Not that. You know what I mean? Utilize every part of every part of it. Not what you're saying, but also what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Just like we go back to the fucking COVID-19, like living your own truth. The whole fucking, I don't see it.
Yeah.
I know. I don't see it, so this is my reality. If your reality is I watched the fucking trial A to B, and now I'm not that guy. But if I watched the trial A to Z, and this is what I gathered out of it, that's what I gathered out of it. Now I'm coming out of a place of ignorance and talking to this because I've literally watched maybe 25 minutes of this entire thing in segmented clips that were brought to me by biased sources.
Yeah.
So I am part of this, but my biggest thing in my entire life since fucking 9/11, all right, was having discernment and not using what you're telling me to believe and just using my own two eyes. And maybe I'm wrong, but I'm using my own two eyes. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not about your thoughts, your side. If anyone's beating their chest, they're probably wrong. Shut the fuck up. You're wrong. You don't know. You just want to be mad at somebody. The fucking 4 people that talk about the Rittenhouse trial. You guys should talk about the Rittenhouse trial. Really want to hear about the Rittenhouse trial? Wanted to hear fucking this is this. Rittenhouse is a hero, or I can't believe he got away with that. What happened? Sound?
The sound disappeared.
Which is odd.
They didn't want to hear Biz talking.
Yeah, they might have got
Facebook shut you down.
Yeah. For real though.
But if I pull out the plug, the sound should.
You should immediately be able to hear us again now.
Yeah,
but just like with lousy quality.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, let's give it a second.
It was clearly working.
Is our sound back? Somebody tell us if our sound is back.
I'm going to try and tell you.
Sounds back on Wednesday at noon on the gigpodcast.net. I know the fuck that's the motherfucker, right? 9:23. It's about to be, and that's my motherfucking time, bitch. You heard me. All right, we moving on from this, or are we going to keep going? This isn't even what we started to, though. You started to talk about the fucking the guy who fucking ran over fucking 45 people in Wisconsin. Was it Wisconsin?
Yeah, but that doesn't sell tickets.
Yeah, but
that'll sell tickets once we get a political story around it. Once we find out that he's BLM or Proud Boy, now that story sells tickets.
I think what's gonna switch is he's gonna be Young Turk. He's gonna be a Young Turk.
I think we're gonna find out.
They found the guy, right? They identified him.
I think so.
I don't know if they identified him, but they definitely found him.
What the fuck's going on?
I think they've been waiting for. I know they've been doing body tallies. I know they're up to like 6 dead. I think 5 or 6 dead and 40 injured.
The sound should be back. Even it should sound crappy right now,
but it should be working. Yeah.
But it should be working. So if it's not, we got a much bigger problem.
Well, they might just be shutting us down, dude.
That could be true too.
Honestly, you're not allowed to say things anymore, dude. The more people that listen, the quicker we'll be shut down. That's just what it is. I might have said COVID, and they were like, nope, fuck it. Not having it. Not allowed to say that.
Listen, here's a piece that what's going on here? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it just flat when I pop into the live, it just flat out says no. Like it pops up and says no sound.
Well,
So we were done with that story. So maybe this is an opportune time to just cut it and restart it. Is that an easy thing or no? Because
yeah,
you're on the
let's
gig
do
page.
that. We'll
Yeah.
cut and restart it.
Chapter 2 coming soon.
Zuckerberg took us out because he didn't like what we were talking about.
He loves the right wing stuff.
I don't. Well, he likes whatever we're going to do to separate things. I just don't think that that's it. Oh, wow. My fucking office manager texted me and said I can't hear anything. That's probably for the best.
So you can hear it Wednesday, like you said.
Yeah, Wednesday at
Download
noon, it'll be there.
Download it to your podcast
I like it that
aggregator.
way better. That way you can skip around when Payday starts making Payday facts up. You can just skip. You can skip that shit.
Skip. Get to the
Yeah,
get to the Sean and Biz parts.
Yeah. Look, let's go right to where Biz and Sean are smiling. That's where I want to be at.
Well, we're back. So So Zuckerberg shut us down, and the fact that I mentioned his name, we might have no sound on this one too. So if you hop in and we have no sound, tell us. Actually, write that in the comments, P. Let us know if there's no sound and pin it.
Let me find the feed.
All right. So you missed a very important thing when we were discussing the trial, and not to get back into the trial, but
Style dripping house we're talking about.
But you called, the people who are into sexual acts with younger people, you called
Nambla.
them by the P word.
What, are we not calling them that anymore?
No,
Are we
no.
going there right now?
Yeah, the P word is out, apparently.
Oh.
There's a professor from Old Dominion University, which, where the hell is Old Dominion University?
Virginia.
Yeah, all right. So it's already shifty.
Yeah.
Right? Already. I don't know about guys. I got a homeboy in Virginia, and he's like a guy like me. So,
Well, you got Timberland from Virginia. You got the Clips from Virginia. You got Pharrell from Virginia.
Missy.
all.
You got Missy from Virginia.
Yeah, you're not selling me.
Not even Pusha?
It
And
Pusha
Timbo?
T, but also Pusha soul crack, so he's not the most,
How about Family?
All right, fair enough. Okay, you got one. Can you hear me?
Rockin', rollin', rock.
All right, so a trans professor from Old Dominion
Oh, I
University.
wasn't aware he was a trans professor. She is a trans professor?
They
They are a trans professor.
are a trans
I'm
professor.
very confused, and I'm only going to make enemies from here on out.
They are parading around as a gentleman, so I guess we will call them.
Sir.
We'll call it sir.
Okay.
Sir? We will call you sir, we will call you sir.
People are multiple people now, dude. I'm very confused.
So them put out a little video about how they felt like using the P word brings a negative connotation to pedophilia. And we should rename them people
Minor
attracted
attracted people.
we should call them maps.
Yeah.
Minor
Oh,
attracted
that's
people
where maps came from.
to take away the negative connotation of fucking children.
But we already have maps, and they tell us how to get places.
That's true, so we need a better word.
We have a better name. How about fucking kill yourselves?
Useless
Yeah.
would be a term.
How
right?
about someone fucked up? How about there is no God?
Soulless.
Yeah.
How about just
soulless
soulless?
works, yeah.
Soulless. But
How about have you ever tried grown woman vagina?
because once you go grown,
You don't go home to fuck a little boy.
exactly.
That's right. That's what they say.
Yeah. It's a known fact. That's what it's what they told me growing up. But it's ridiculous. Obviously, I don't even think that this has to be discussed of like, hey, this side or that side. It's an obvious, like, ridiculous choice of like, no, we're gonna keep the negative connotation.
This is like
because this is a negative situation.
This is like what the old Jesus loving people that I didn't like back in the day. Then, like, I'll be honest, and I said it last week, I think like that. Like, I would watch like like Men Kiss on MTV, and it would turn my stomach, right?
Yeah.
And then I walk out of two gay people's houses, and they're loving each other, and I think about all the things that they overcame, right? To love each other. Good for them, right?
Yeah.
So I've grown up. I have gay friends, you know what I mean? They don't mind me using the F word, but they're my friends,
So
right?
hopefully in a few more years, you will be able to accept maps.
Maps, right. My thing is, that the people, like, whatever it was 50 years ago, were like, you let one man marry another man, and before you know it, everyone's gonna be fucking kids, right? And we all thought those people were fucking crazy, like I did.
And
they might have been on to something.
Yeah. No, I think this goes to what Payday often says, which is not everybody needs to have a voice.
Yeah.
Right? Because now this is like hey, here's my thing to fucking stir up some controversy so people look over here at me, right?
It's not that controversial. Can I make a case for it without you giving me that look? Hold on. I'm not.
You're treading light water because we're going to smoke you as a pedo lover.
I know you think that, but hear me out, right? So the
I respect that you're even going to try.
The metrics say that there are way more people who have these thoughts than take these actions. Way more. It's a way outsized. Okay.
For sure.
So
I believe that.
So let's give it a number just for right now. Let's call it 80-20.
Okay.
Of the 100% of people who have these vile thoughts, only 20% act on it.
do something.
The
right.
other 80 became priests, so they could hide from society and do what they wanted to do. There's something to be said for the idea of those other 80% are fighting this urge, which probably
there's
means,
a little bit of respectability to
which
it.
probably means they know it's fucked up and wrong.
Yeah.
But the both of you, and understandably, as soon as you're a pedophile, we're gonna fucking kill you. Means that they
just kill yourself.
No. You're just
kill yourself, whatever it might be. Means that they are going to feel incredibly fucking frightened to tell anyone, even a psychiatrist, say, hey, I don't want to have these fucking feelings anymore. Can you fucking help me before any other shit happens? I don't need this in my life. So
how does us calling them minor addicted people help that situation?
Well, because there is no room that you can walk into and say, that guy's a pedophile, but he's working on it. And everybody's going to go, oh, that's so good that he's seeking help.
Yeah.
Like the word itself is basically, I mean,
it has negative connotation.
It has
because it's negative.
Because it's negative.
Because it's a negative connotation.
Massively negative.
Yeah.
Because it's as prison will tell you, it's the most vile of the vile things that you can do.
Correct.
But if you have somebody who says, I need to not have these thoughts, you want them to be able to get help. And you don't want them to feel like if I even open my mouth about this, someone's going to hunt me down and kill me.
Here's the idea.
Kyle Rittenhouse is going to show up at my house and shoot me down.
But the only thing, but that's not going to, by changing the name, is not going to change the feeling behind it.
You'll get a window. You'll get a window
you're
where
not,
it is.
Because as soon as you tell me you're a minor attracted person,
I'm not going to tell you.
I'm going to say, oh, you're a fucking pedophile.
Right. And now you're going to want to kill them again, which is the problem in the first place.
So you're just we put so much emphasis on words and the things that you say and how much this means, when in reality, in full wholehearted reality, words are just a couple letters put together with a meaning assigned to them. It could mean nothing or it could mean everything, but it depends on what you do.
This word means, regardless of any situation, this word means if you are murdered, you deserved it.
Yes.
Regardless of the situation.
Correct.
Regardless. And that's the problem with the word.
And the same thing is going to happen for a map.
Eventually.
Very soon, because we
you'll
know
get a window where people can get help.
You're going to get a 30-second window when people are like, you got 30 seconds from the time she put that video out to the time the first person saw it. You had that window to now be a MAP and be like a little bit better than a pedo.
They don't, they're not wearing jerseys that say I'm an MAP.
But it doesn't change.
They should have
You're the same thing, and people are going to associate the same thing and look at it the same way. It's not going to change anything.
If you can feel safer going to get help under that name, then what's the difference?
But you're not safer. You are the same. You are the same.
You're not.
And this goes back.
We just said this.
You are. You're the same. We can bring it all the way. This is the whole thing. The whole liberal side of the argument is that we're going to change the words around so that something is different. But you are the same thing, regardless of what you call yourself.
And you need help. And you need to be able to tell people that you need help.
Yes.
And that doesn't work with the word pedophile at all, ever.
And it's not going to work with minor addicted. It's the same. There's nothing changes but the letters.
Words are super limiting. Words are limiting. Words are not what you can use to justify a thing.
No one's trying to justify it. Don't say that.
I'm not saying. No, words. I'm talking about words. Purely just words. Things that are coming out of my mouth. We can use words to describe a thing, but words will never be a thing.
Yeah, words are useless as and of themselves
Also-
as a word.
How are you both saying that when this particular word means I should murder you?
Hold
like you have
on.
assigned
No.
a heavy
Hold
fucking
on.
burden to
No,
this.
no, no.
Hold
Not that
on.
particular word.
Yeah.
The
That
particular
particular
thing.
action. We could call you a chomo. We could call you a
Okay.
child fucker, a tree jumper.
All right, I got
you. know
you.
what I mean? Like
All right.
it has nothing to do with the word.
I got-
and
I see
that's
what you're
what
saying.
we're. That's
I
what
see
I'm
what you're
saying
saying.
here. Is there's so much weight put on words, and a word ain't shit. Biz fucking says 3,000 words every fucking night here in front, and just throws them out there.
Right.
Right? And now when he puts them together and creates a groove, it's a thing, but they're also worthless. You just say them, throw them out, it's gone. It's
They're
not here anymore.
It doesn't. Words don't accurately describe anything. This goes back to let's draw a fucking an alignment here. Sexuality is a spectrum. Period.
Right.
Okay. Everyone is a little bit of a lot of different things.
Sure.
I'm 0% kid fucker personally.
That's excellent.
All right, but. There's just like sexuality is a spectrum.
Yeah, but hold
because
on. If I identified as a
wait,
kid-
let me get this thought out. If you fucking, I see where you're going. I respect it. If what you're saying is sexuality is a spectrum because you cannot specifically define it. I don't care how many fucking letters you put behind it. You cannot specifically define this thing, your sexual nature. Sean's idea of love could be very different than my idea of love.
Sure.
These are words because they're limiting and they do not possess the overall power of the feeling of the thing that it is. They are limiting because they are just letters put together to make sounds. They are not things to put together to make feelings. They are not fucking real. They are just fucking there. They're like fucking. It's like a breeze or
It's a
some
tool.
shit.
It's just a tool that you
It's-
fucking use.
The word doesn't matter. There should never be a fucking. If you feel weird about the word, you should feel weird about the thing.
Yeah.
It's not the word. The word. First of all, we're talking about a very small select people, and maybe it's big, and it's been going on for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. The Romans used to walk around with 7 little boys on a leash, and whoever had the most little boys was
We're
the
about to lose
fucking
the
boy.
sound again.
I'm just saying that was the guy. He was in control.
Same in Greece, absolutely.
Right. All these. So it's not something. This isn't a new thing. Michael Jackson didn't create this shit in Neverland Ranch. This is just. And who knows if he did it? You know what I mean? That could also be
Yeah.
a swindle.
It's-
A swindle.
yeah, sure.
But the reality of it is, words are words, and they don't hold the meaning of a thing pinpoint accurate to what a thing actually is. However,
They shape your the viewpoint of
they
things.
do
though.
not. I don't give a fuck. Like Sean said, it does not matter. That my thought goes to what it is. It doesn't go to what the word's connotation is. The connotation of the word is what it is. We could call them. We could make a nice little happy name for them. We could call them sunshine lady fuckers. I don't even care. We could call them straight. If the new word straight means fucking kids, I'm gonna know that straight means fucking kids. That's a bad example.
And are you going to want to be called straight?
No, he's gonna be
No.
gay, right?
Why? You don't care.
Immediately. He's
Words
gonna
are
be,
words.
No,
I'll go gay.
because
you need to know where I stand.
Why? Words are just words. They're meaningless. They're
It's
just
sexual-
letters put together. So
Yeah,
what's
but
the
no,
difference?
they
no, that's
have a
what we're saying because
connotation.
because the action behind the word straight.
Yeah, but the word
is now
can't
fucking
define
kids.
it. The word's just
It was a
thing.
bad example.
Nah,
No,
you're
you're
wrong.
You can
You're
use
wrong.
it in a different example.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But what I'm
you know what he's saying, and you're just picking apart the argument.
No, I'm
Classic
what he
payday.
does.
Classic payday.
sorry for trying to be on the side of the argument.
No, the reality of it is that we shouldn't be fucking. All right, I'm not saying that a person that for whatever reason throughout their life, throughout their genetics, throughout their upbringing doesn't deserve, if they have these weird thoughts, to go seek help.
You not only want them to deserve to seek help, you want them
To want to seek help
to
so
be
they don't
desperate to
act
seek
on
help.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Exactly.
they shouldn't need anyone else's fucking vibe to fuck them up in that.
That's easy enough for you to say when
It's
you
very
when
easy
you're
for
not
me to
when you're
say.
not attached to something that there's no one
But
in
I
the world
have-
that wouldn't
I
say
have-
But
kill
what-
him.
yeah.
Just kill him right now. They're
I-
never gonna get better. Fucking murder him right now.
But what
don't
we
need it.
are saying is, regardless of the
It's someone's gonna feel that way about maps. I hear you.
I hope every.
I hear you.
I hope every map goes and talks to a psychiatrist, and they
Right.
can fix that part of their brain so that we can erase that thing from society. But whether you're a map, a pedo, or a tree
You're
jumper,
gonna think the same
it's
thing.
the same shit.
I understand, and I'm not saying that she's got a bright idea. All I'm saying is, there's a
Sir, she.
There's a
He. It's a-
them.
Mr.
There's a difference between
Hey,
Alan.
you're better than this.
Between Alan trying to justify the action and trying to change the word.
Listen, it's,
Changing the word is like fucking scraping the surface on changing the action. It's
Yeah,
like
oh, yeah.
it's like nothing.
It's not going to fix anything. It's not going to fix anything on the broad scale. I'm with you. I'm not saying that once we get this in place, the world's going to be better. No, it's not, because these people that have these problems, these issues, still need to seek this help. We just want more of them to do so there's less of them in that 20% field versus the 80% that go, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me, but I can't fucking deal with this.
Right.
my final thought is that changing the word has nothing. This is just them's. This is just them's shot at them was sitting down and then was like, you know what? This sounds just crazy enough that I could get a little bit of attention from it, which is
It's clickbait.
yeah.
And to your point,
And sure enough,
she got suspended.
them got attention.
They got suspended though. Their job is in jeopardy.
They got suspended on the air of, if you heard the statement, it's almost as Old Dominion is like siding, like, hey, we put her on leave for his safety, her safety, them safety. We put them on leave for them safety. It's because we know that this, like, the uber liberal stems from, maybe not stems from, but is heavy in the college, in the college realm. So them probably said that, and Old Dominion was kind of on some like, oh, for your safety, you need to just take a break. She's not going to lose her job. Them's not going to lose them job.
Well, this seems to be.
Them will be back.
This seems to be research that person, like, from a psychological standpoint, this seems to be research that person has been doing for a long time. So if Old Dominion was uncomfortable with the subject matter,
They would have nixed it.
They would have already been gone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like
So it's,
let's do something to take some heat off.
right. It's the radio suspension. We're going to let them
Yeah.
cool out for 2 weeks, get a paid vacation, and come back, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah. It's just them's trying for them shine.
Okay.
Good for them.
Them got it. Got your shine. Now what can you do with the shine?
That's the question.
Like, here's your shine. Can you run with it? Can you turn it into something? Here's your shine. You got your 30 seconds. Can you turn it into something, or is this it?
Right. You have our attention. Now what are you going to
Bro,
do?
Yeah.
can I just make a
Are you
sidebar?
an M80 or are you a flare?
Are you with M80?
Them
We're flares, bro.
Ric Flair.
Because as soon, here's the
Helicopter.
thing with the M80, you make a bang, everybody turns and looks, and then go, oh, there's nothing there. But if you're a road flare, you light up, you're shining, and when people come by, they got no choice but to look and say, what's going on here?
I can't
What's
wait to
happening
light
here?
up, man. I just want to light up. That's all I want to do is light up.
You lit.
Thank you, bro.
Nah, man.
I just can't imagine in the depression cycles that I've been in my life with fairly normal thoughts that I would ever live longer than a few days with thoughts like that. I just couldn't imagine doing it.
I just can't imagine the thought, so I couldn't even play. I can't play it out.
No, I'm just saying.
One time
It's
somebody told Sean he looks like a guy who thinks, and he has not thought since then.
Fuck my whole shit up. You know what I mean? I was into thinking before that.
The way that guy
I
said
had to
that,
give up.
reconsidered everything.
I had to give up on it. Sadly, many of us have heard the news, but it's the first time we've been together since it happened. And Pay and Biz, you may or may not have too much feeling associated with this, but I was a fan of Young Dolph. I listened to Young Dolph, and more than his music, I lost the soundboard, but that's all right because I wasn't really using it anyway.
How'd you lose the soundboard?
I pressed the button, and
okay.
Now I'm on JoanneFabrics.com.
Well, you need to do
okay,
some
so I don't know what
what are you up to?
I'm not sure what you're doing on the.
I'm
what
trying to
you're
make your
looking
Christmas
for.
gifts. Can you shut that off, please?
Close it down. That's secret.
As long as it popped up on that page, we're good.
Yeah.
More.
Joanne Fabrics with an X is the one you don't want to get to.
There we go. I'm back.
Welcome to the gig. You're late for work. Let's get it.
We need a tool shed, John.
Yeah.
I'll
John
work
that
on
says
that.
tool shed.
I'll work on that.
A Tim Allen one would be cool.
Somebody asked me to do some voiceover work for something else, so maybe I'll try and see what I can come
Sweet.
up with.
What else? Can you tell us?
It's another podcast, and they need a
Big Cuz?
They sent me a
Yeah,
like,
it must be big cuz of shit.
they have like it's just like a sci-fi podcast. and
Welcome
they have
to the
like,
roller rink.
They sent me like in the future, that, you know, like that
Yeah.
that old 50s radio sound, and they asked me if I could do
How do you know them?
a friend of a friend of a friend.
And they said, "Oh,
They said
Paul has
the
a
guy said he's
podcast.
got a good voice. Ask him, and he knows how to record stuff. See if he can do it for you.
oh,
maybe.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
good. That's what's up. Are they putting some bread in your pocket or
Couple
just
bucks.
a favor?
Couple
Nice.
bucks.
Nice. Damn. And now I closed it again. Here we go. Okay. What was I talking about?
You were talking about Young Dolph.
Dolph.
I guess he's a rapper or something.
Yeah, he's
Or
a
something.
guy from Dirty South rapper.
What happened? He got shot?
Yeah.
He got shot in his
Drive-by?
own hood. They hopped out.
Okay.
They
You
have
got to
the
get out of
respect
your
to hop
hood,
out,
dude.
yeah.
If this has taught anyone anything,
Well, here's the
Get
thing,
out.
right? Young Dolph had some joints. He had a couple songs that I listened to, but more than Young Dolph's music, I was interested in his rise and his appeal and his story. Like I've watched a couple of like a day in the life Young Dolph joints
Right, right.
and some interviews and such. And this was a guy, like a lot of cats from Memphis are known to be, is like a self-made, selling mixtapes out
Street-
the trunk of your car.
Street platinum.
Yeah, and that's what Dolph was. So,
Okay.
I think that's cool. I think it's awesome to see a guy who's like has the drive to make it happen and keeps. Some cats look at it like, you're 35 years old and you still didn't hit. It's kind of sad. Why don't you give up the rap? But Young Dolph wasn't hearing that, right?
Right.
And so now, at 36, he popped and was making mega bucks on touring and on whatever else he had going on.
It's like 2 Chainz.
Yeah. And, he was doing all right. He had a nice fleet of cars. He was making money. He had jewelry. He put on some young bulls underneath of him. And I'm sure that this is associated to some kind of gang ties because I think the Gangster Disciples are pretty heavy in Memphis. BDs and GDs and Vice Lords and whatnot is kind of heavy in the Memphis area. And so now he's gone because he was, because he was a boss, I guess. And somebody got mad points for knocking him off. But it's sad, man. It's sad that rappers keep dying. And it seems like rappers are dying more now. It's either this, right? It's either rappers are dying more now than they ever were because things are more violent, or there's just more rappers than there ever were. And so now the violence is these dudes 20 years ago would have been a regular dude.
Right.
Now they're also a rapper.
I think statistically, violence on the whole is down year over year. I think you're right. I think there's more.
Statistically, rappers are
way
up.
through the roof.
Yeah.
It's through the roof. Biz said something about you got to leave your hood, and it just Joel Ortiz put out a new album this week, and it's pretty good. But there's one song on there where he's talking about it's like grown folk stuff. Like I used to do X, Y, and Z in the streets, but now I'm with my wife in my house in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And the one line he says in there, he says, "I swear you'll always love your hood, but you'll never miss it." And like that's like exactly remember where you came from, but sometimes it's just beneficial to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And live your, especially if you're popping, leave.
I
right?
understand like the whole romantic of being a boss. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And going back and riding around with the fucking top down and fucking, you know what I mean?
being the man. You
Hooking
wanna
up
be the
the
man.
squad, you know what I mean? Throwing $1,000 down at the deli counter, you know what I mean? Or whatever the case
But also,
may be.
Dolph was the man everywhere. Like, he didn't have to be the man in a spot where he had known enemies, I guess,
Yeah, he could have.
And he could have just came back to, like, drop off some. That week he was doing a turkey drive, giving away like 300 turkeys to families in South Memphis or whatever. And so that could have been the reason that he was back in the hood, because he's like, you know what? I remember what it was like when my mom was struggling to get a turkey and some stuffing on Thanksgiving. Let me make sure that now that I take care of some people out there. And he came back to do a good thing and then got knocked off.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's got 4 gold records, and
That's
the
wild,
the
dude.
last thing he came out hit 10 on the rap charts. So he's big enough that like he could leave his zone. And
I'm
still
100
be,
years old.
and
Like
still
I
be a
have
known
no
person.
idea. There's like you could
Well,
show me
it-
70 rappers that are in the top 10,
It's
and I would have
but
no
it's a
idea.
combination of things. It's we're older and we're missing a lot of the young stuff, but also again, there's 86 million people putting out a new
Yeah.
song every single day,
Yeah.
and there's no way, even if you wanted to, that you could stay on top of every single thing and figure out who's going to pop and who's not.
You
gonna
think
pop.
we
I
ever
try
get,
to stay hip.
You
with
think
what
we ever
the
get
young
like
kids are doing.
superstars again? You know what I mean? I guess like Kanye's close.
Drake?
Yeah, Drake.
You'll get.
But you're not like, we're not talking, it's not like the Beatles or like Elvis or like fucking Michael
no, because there was a lot less outlets for music back then. So kind of whether we debate their talent or not, when the Beatles were around, the Beatles were all you got. You turn on the TV, it was the Beatles. You turn on the radio, it was the Beatles. You know what I mean? Like now, like we talked about last week, like my son doesn't even listen to the radio. So pretty much anything he listens to is funneled through me or my wife.
Right.
So if we're not funneling him whoever his friends like, it's just like there's not going to be that bridge to everybody loves this one person.
But it is pretty crazy to me because, like, I've heard of the name Young Dolph. I don't think I've ever heard of a song. I mean, maybe I have, but I couldn't pinpoint. I couldn't tell you a one fact about Young Dolph, right? Besides the fact that he's dead now. That's the fact I know.
Right.
And I'm not. I know I come across whatever. I don't care. It's crazy that this dude had the jewelry and he had the cars and he had all this shit. So as much as there's 86 million rappers in the world, that there's still a piece of the pie that motherfuckers are out here eating to the point that he can give back to the community and all that shit. Because it's wild to think that at one point there was like maybe 100 artists. You know what I mean? That people knew of. You know what I mean?
But so the label was pushing them. So your 100 artists that sold platinum were getting a nickel off of each record. Now they're selling the single for 99 cents, but they're seeing 40 cents of it every time.
Yeah.
So if you have a platinum song, you made a decent chunk of change for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the new uprise.
They bitch about the payouts on Spotify and things like that, but I'm not so sure that I'm convinced that Spotify is really all that dirty about it when you break it down to what the payouts are like on the radio. Like you get 3 cents per spin on the radio, right? So if you consider Philadelphia, like Power 99, I think it's like 2 million listeners a day. So you get 3 cents when 2 million people listen to your song. It converts to like what Spotify's paying out.
It's really.
I mean, and guys on Spotify. You're going to get more spins than the radio.
Well, you can get more spins. You can get yourself in front without concerning yourself if the DJ likes you.
Right.
If anybody else called up to request your song, you can get yourself in front
of everyone. And a guy like Dolph, who, like Biz says, like you don't know anything about him, but he's got videos that have like 70 million views.
Yeah.
So like he's making moves, like somewhere somebody is listening, and a lot of somebodies are listening,
or somebody's listening to it over and over again.
I always do think it's weird when I like stumble across somebody who I don't know, and their videos on YouTube have like 80 million views.
Yeah,
like the last one was this kid OGeezy, right? I'm like, I never heard of the dude, but he's got millions of views and he's popping and he's kind of hard. And then he did a joint with the baby. I'm like, wait a second, I don't know who this guy is, right? Yeah. And I follow a little bit of the young bullshit, right? Like I try and find the stuff I like that's coming out now. So, but there's so much, dude, so much.
I know
that you can't hear it all.
Yeah.
And there's not the radio at least was a source to give you, because we had to go out and find the other stuff anyway. What we were listening to wasn't on the radio.
Right.
But it gave you a starting point to build off of, right?
Yeah.
Like you heard, like you would wait for the Come Up show to come on, or Side B, or one of these radio shows that played the less popular stuff.
Yeah.
And then you could build off of that, like,
Papoose or Saigon.
Yeah. Let me see what else I can dig up from him. Or even on the radio where you would hear like, a mainstream song where you're like, all right, well, let me see what else he's got out. Let me look at his last album. Let me look 2 albums back. Let me find his underground mixtape before he was released. So there's no real starting point now. And then, so not like Payday's saying, is that not everything is getting funneled kind of through one thing. It's just this vast field of music, and you have to just go out and start picking through the weeds. And if somebody's good, they're a big weed and everybody's going to see it. But there could be people who are great who just don't know how to market it right, like Mark Abel, and we'll never hear Mark Abel. He's the best MC that ever existed.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm looking at Young Dolph's page just to back up what we're talking about. So there's 3, I'm just looking at 3 particular songs. He's got other songs with views. There's these 3 songs here. One has 97 million views, one has 82 million views, and the other has 46 million views. If he was only getting a half a cent off of each of those views, and I think YouTube pays better than that, that's $1.25 million.
Yeah.
So, and he's got other songs on here, 1.2 million, 8.7 million. So he's making a ton of money.
He's touring.
He's just floating in different circles than we cross into.
Yeah, but
because we don't. I would guess for you, and I know for me, I pretty much don't listen to random music anymore. If I'm hearing a new rapper, it's probably because he's rapping with someone that I was already looking to listen to in the first place.
Or they made some kind of wave.
Or they
That's
made some-
like,
right,
I
right.
think that I'm listening to the Baby and I'm cool, but the fucking kids that are listening to cool shit think the Baby's not cool.
He's past.
Right.
Yeah.
Or any of those dudes. Like
Right.
I think that I'm like, oh shit, this shit's cool. It sounds new, and I'm 73.
Right.
Yeah.
So whatever, I'm 73.
If you're 73, Paye's like 100.
He's the crypt.
I'm eternal.
Yeah. Eternal. E-Life.
That's why.
That's
Oh fuck. Talk about Eli for a minute.
I heard E-Life, he dropped some old fire from himself on his Facebook earlier
Yeah,
this week.
highly doubt it. What?
telling you.
He's making moves on the TikTok now. He's on the TikTok.
Okay.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's a
he-
good move for a 53-year-old.
He came on and he posted up a video that I produced the song for.
Okay,
and
still
all of a
gonna
sudden-
talk shit.
All of a sudden, no, I'm not asking you not to. I'm just saying all of a sudden, all my views on all my videos went up and all my likes went up. So he could do whatever he wants to do as far as I'm concerned.
Well, he likes to do meth. I think he's been clean
I've heard
now.
that.
I think he's clean.
I've heard that, but I think
But who doesn't like to do meth?
And gay
really?
sex. Gay sex and meth
Well,
are the two things.
They kind of go hand in hand.
I brought him onto a job and he stole Adderall from my boss's mom and
That's
got me
dope.
fired. Yeah.
That's dope.
So
That
I'm
is
not a
dope.
big fan of Adderall. Or him.
he used to come to the house to record.
We used to be really tight.
Was
though. I
he
used to
one of
hang
the
out with him
people
all the
who's
time.
not allowed to record at the house anymore?
He's the one who's
Yeah.
not allowed to record.
Yeah.
So it would be the regular rotation was Johnny, Zap, and Almighty.
Love
And-
all three of those guys.
And then E would show up with Johnny every now and then.
Of course.
And we would start recording at like 8 p.m. right after everybody else went to bed. We would start recording, so we would work from like 8 p.m. to like 2 a.m. Go ahead.
Sidebar. Little did Johnny know that E-Life was dying for him to whip that cock out on the way there. And fucking ask him, please.
Hey, he may have known they did duets together.
Yeah. I've done duets with E-Life too, but he's never sucked my dick.
And
How's my beard look?
I've checked over and
Good,
over
man.
again with my wife. Like, are you okay? We're recording till 2 a.m. Like, I want to do what I want to do, but I have to be considerate.
Mm.
She's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. He's not allowed over the house anymore
And why
because
is
he's
that?
entirely too
Get him
fucking
outta
loud,
here.
just
Very
screaming and yelling the whole time. He's like he can't. He can only come over during the day.
He used to crush up speed in his yogurt while I drove him into the job that we were at, and then he would fall asleep on speed.
Whoa.
I never saw him
That's
like
a skill set.
when he was at the house. I don't think I even ever saw him drink. I know he showed up fucked up at least a few times, and Johnny got pissed at him.
They took our sound again.
because he wasn't ready. Well, because we're talking about E-Life. Because
Not allowed to talk. Kyle Rittenhouse, COVID, or E-Life.
he like wasn't ready to rap, and Johnny was like, "You were supposed to fucking do your thing." And so I know he's had his troubles. It looks.
I
like
hope that he's gotten
most
his
of
shit
them.
together.
He's passed most of them, and
Yeah, no, that's good. I hope he has. You know
working
what I mean?
working with some head shops and things like that.
Yeah.
But
I don't
I
know
can't
what
speak
to
for the
do
gay
about
part.
the sound. I don't know what to do. It
Start
keeps happening.
start learning ASL.
Just shut it down and turn it back on.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Whatever. The live stream is. You know what I mean? I don't know what to tell you about it.
This is what we do, though. We make the live stream grimy so that everybody has to tune into the YouTube to find out what they missed.
You got to get to
What
the
happened when they were
YouTube.
just lipping words?
Yeah, what was that?
That was the important part.
E-Life reported it. You know, it's funny when you start to talk about people on here, they end up showing up.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
isn't that weird?
It's like you're summoning them.
Yeah.
You know what Howie Mandel does?
He doesn't shake people's hands.
Well, yeah, he's got like
he's
a
super duper OCD.
heavy OCD.
Yeah.
Apparently to the point where it ruined a lot of relationships
Yeah.
in his life. But he also, right, he'll like play pranks and jokes on people that nobody else knows or sees, right?
Like it's just him appreciating his own prank.
Yeah, which I think is fucking phenomenal because I feel like that kind of touched a chord with me, and I'm like, I understand.
That's awesome.
And the dude who's interviewing him, he's telling a dude in like a podcast interview form, and the dude's like, "Well, let me push back on that for a second,
Right.
Like, because he didn't believe him, right?
Right.
He was like, "That you don't do this, like." And Howie Mandel's like, "Some people just paint pictures and leave them in their studio."
Right.
And they just do it because they like the art
Because
of
they
it.
enjoy it, right? They don't need anybody to see it for it to work.
Which I'm like, yeah, I get it, Howie. You know, I have an
understand.
entire
In this
relationship. I have an entire relationship with a guy who lives in Delaware that nobody ever sees or knows, and it's all just a long-running joke to me.
I think at this point you're still unclear if it's a joke anymore or not.
Oh well, we're done. Our relationship's over.
no, wait,
yeah, my relationship with Marty has ended. I think.
Wait, no, that's not something you. Wait. Did you do something? Did you overstep your bounds?
No, well, here's what happened.
Oh, fuck. He hasn't even called into the show yet.
I know. He texts me last week.
Okay.
Hey.
We're getting ready for the high holiday. High holiday.
yeah.
So.
Hey, Sean. Hope you and the family have a good weekend. Right.
Okay. That's sweet.
And if I send you this book, would you read it?
Okay.
And of course, it was a book about how Muslims converted to Christianity.
Right. So you said yes.
I didn't answer him.
Oh, okay.
I was in the midst of that hellhole we call Lou G's house.
Right.
Right.
The attic from hell.
And I was not eating lunch over there. Like I was
Right.
just trying to. I just needed to get it done.
Right.
I had a couple days where I was dehydrated because I didn't drink any water. I just kept working and just was working nonstop until that thing was finished. So I didn't answer him. And by the time I realized I didn't answer him, it was like 2 days later.
Oh, did you have like 96 unread texts?
No, he didn't text me at all
Okay.
again. But I think by me not responding, it might have put the kibosh on it. But we'll see when Christmas comes.
I hope it didn't, but I'll say this. It's seemingly, up until this point, he's been a very patient man. So I don't know that one non-response is enough to
I hope
to
not.
break his
I hope not.
will.
But I also didn't want to tell him, like, I didn't want to lie to him and say, yeah, I'll read it. But I didn't want to let him down and say, like, nah, I'm not going to read it.
You could read it with no intentions of it working.
I had tried to start reading one of the books he sent me.
Right.
I made it
Not too
about a
much.
chapter. I think I made it through the first chapter, and that was it. But I get the idea of, like, hey, this thing is funny to me,
Right.
so I'm going to do it.
Right.
And I don't really need anybody else to get a kick out of it because, to me, I'm getting a kick out of it.
I do that. Like, I do it pretty frequent. I probably do it less frequently than I used to do it, but there's been many a times. Now, sometimes my daughter's there now, so there's
Yeah.
someone benefiting from it. But there's been many a times where, like, in a convenience store or whatever, I'm just a character. Or maybe not necessarily a prank, but it's just a thing that I do that's funny to me, you know what I mean? Or I talk with a voice that I wouldn't normally talk with, or whatever. And it's just
Yes, like sometimes I go through the toll booth with an English accent
Yeah.
when I'm just sitting by myself, like for no reason, stuff like that. But hearing Howie Mandel say that made me feel like, oh, I should start putting some more focus back into this section of my life.
Secret
you know?
pranking.
What do you got? Do you have anything that you want to ask me about?
Oh,
Any
like,
things that
Seems so
would
fucking
you
pointed.
You have any kind of questions?
Is he leaving?
That might be a thing. Like, hey, would you want to do this or this?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You want to give me some options on
I
things
have a
that
whole
we should
bunch.
do?
I don't like my D block this week, so I would like
got a
to
D block.
just- Oh, you have a D block?
What's yours? Tell me what it is first.
Mine is people that you're happy to have lived on the planet with. As far as like maybe like
Yeah, mine's 90s babes.
oh, I like yours.
Okay.
So I do have a so I'll think about that while we do this.
Yeah.
Would you rather? Okay.
I haven't thought about it. I only have one.
I have a shitload of would you rather's.
Okay.
So I might not do all of them. Would you rather be incredibly rich but have a bad reputation, or be liked by everyone and be forever poor?
Can you repeat the question?
I know you're writing your '90s babes down. We gotta give attention here because these.
I got three of them. Okay.
Okay.
Carry on.
Would you rather be incredibly rich but have a bad reputation, or be liked by everyone but be forever poor?
How bad's my reputation?
Let's say deplorable.
Does my family like me?
Let's say no.
See, I wonder, because I'm like I'm a social butterfly. Some people might call me a social moth. You know, depends on who you're talking to. But I guess it comes down to, man. Do I care that I'm a social butterfly? I think I do. I think I thrive off of, at times I don't want to talk to anybody. At times I find strength and motivation in my relationships with people. I don't think that I could go long term throughout my entire life without having like good relationships and being a guy that people like to see and that I like to see and that we have a good time together and laugh and generally enjoy each other's company. So am I going to be poor?
Yeah, poor like
Oh, fuck,
piss
dude.
poor. Not maybe homeless, but close. Scraping.
That changes it. Like I could be mediocre. Like I would say if I was mediocre and had, people who loved me, cool. But I gotta survive. I can't be scraping by and hurting to survive.
Well, presumably if everybody likes you, no one's gonna let you suffer.
Yeah, but then
This
you're a
is true.
bum.
This is
You
true.
can't.
Well-
I did that. I played that game as a teenager, as a
Right.
teenage junkie, and it's not a good feeling that, especially looking back on it in genuflection.
Yeah, but not everybody likes the teenage junkie. People feel pity for you, and that's why they help you in some cases. Like he's talking.
No, just the idea of needing help
Just
time and time and time again without being able to say like, no, I'm cool. I appreciate it, but I got this.
I got you.
Right? Like I don't want to have to. You see how hard I hustle. I don't want to have to depend on anybody for anything. Like sure, it's great that when like I'm a little bit down in any aspect that there's always somebody who will help me out with whatever that thing is.
Right.
A conversation, a couple bucks, a gym part, whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Anything that it is. And it's great that I have those people, but I couldn't picture myself going through life depending on everybody else for my own survival. I would just have to get used to like being a loner. And if I got that kind of bread, people are going to pretend to like me even if I am a deplorable person. So I'll just pretend that I believe they're pretending.
So you're gonna go rich?
I got to go rich. I can't depend on anybody else for my own survival. I can't see myself doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I go rich just because I'm not much of a. You know what I mean? I'm kind of alone that way anyway.
You are a lone wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I go rich.
Yeah. If you turn the gain all the way up, does that make this ASMR?
No, we'd have to start whispering and breathing into the mics.
No.
and then-
Turn my
Well-
gain. Turn my gain all the way up. Turn my gain all the way up.
Yeah, let's not. I don't want to be in on that side of TikTok.
No. I want to do my next. Would you rather in ASMR?
Damn, I don't even get a chance to answer the older one.
Good answer.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I got nothing. I don't. I sometimes with the would you rather's, I try to like beat both sides around to see if there's like validity to both sides. I can't figure out the everybody likes me but I'm broke, and that's a good life.
Right.
Like I have, part of the idea that I don't really like people anyway plays into it, obviously, but like I can't figure out the benefit to just everybody being chill with my existence is good enough. So fucking make me rich and isolate me. I don't care.
You got to.
Yeah.
You can't. You gotta.
Like some of them, even though I'll choose the other side, I can see the merit in the side that I didn't choose. I can't figure out like the value of just, like I said, like everybody's cool with me. Great. What the fuck is that worth?
No, well, if you put it on a balance beam, right? Everybody liking me, or nobody liking me. Like, okay, yeah, of course, everybody liking me outweighs it.
Yeah.
But if you put broke or rich, rich way outweighs
it
the
throws
broke.
the skew because I would even take the everybody likes me and I'm rich versus nobody likes me and I'm broke, even though I don't want people to care for me one way or the other.
Right.
So yeah, the money part of it makes it a weird proposition to take the other side of.
That's what Biz does. He puts weird propositions. That's what this whole thing's about. We put weird propositions on the table and try and figure out the bottom of it.
Usually, like I said, there's merit to both sides, and I can't figure out the merit to the one side.
So
on this
pretty
one.
much what we're saying, what you're saying here is come. I think you're saying you got to come
stronger.
harder than that. So
Wow,
what's?
dude, I think it opened up. All right. Okay.
I'm not with him. I love you, Biz. I think it was
I'm
phenomenal.
not saying anything against the man, just the question.
All right. Would you rather find another money one? Let's see if this one's better.
Okay.
All right.
Give me the more money.
Okay.
Would you
fuck it.
rather be gay and rich?
Or maps and poor.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather find 50? Yeah, I think that's an easy one. Would you rather find? I'd rather catch huge cocks to the butt all the time and have tons of money.
Yeah.
Would you rather find $50 every day?
I like that his assumption is if he's gay, he's got to be the bottom.
I'm not doing squats for nothing. I'm doing squats for nothing. All right.
enough.
Would you rather find $50 every day and have to spend it that same day, or find $25 every day and be able to save it?
25 every day and save it, without a doubt. I'm still earning paper regularly.
That's what I was going to ask. Is that my only form of income?
No. It's
Okay.
just about it's an extra income. So it's $50 that you spend every day that you're able to spend. But
Right.
now,
But you have to spend it every day.
yeah. But my thing is, can you spend it on Bitcoin? Can you spend it on something that's an investment?
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
You know, in that case, then I'm spending it
But
for
why-
an investment.
Why can't I save Why can't I spend the 25s on that?
You
If-
can.
Okay. So then,
But it's less than 50.
right. But I don't have to blow through it every single day.
No, but if you blow through it into an investment,
Well, so are we doing that like Brewster's Million sort of thing where an investment doesn't count because then you technically still have the money? Like, does it have to be spent? Or just like you can reallocate it somewhere else? Because then at that point, why can't I just save it?
yeah,
Yeah,
That one sucks
point.
too. Move on.
That's a good point. Well,
Yeah,
no,
you-
I made it that way. It wasn't that way. It was about $50 and spending it or 25 and saving.
Yeah,
it.
you were trying to find the shortcut.
I was trying to find a shortcut.
Right.
Loophole.
The shortcut didn't work. All right.
You got to take the $25 and just bank it every day because after, let's do the math, right? 25 times 365 is 5, 2, 2, 3, 5, 3, 15, 18, 0, 10, 1, 6, 13.
Guy's a number
1,
runner.
2 times 5, 6, 7,
That's what he does.
5, 2, 11. That's 91.25 a year, if I'm not mistaken. By not doing anything, you just got almost 10 grand in the bank just
Yeah.
by chilling. Now, just for shits and giggles to show you how good my math is, are you doing that or no?
I trust you.
Well,
You got to write up estimates all the time. I'm good with your number.
let's see. Let's just see, just for the hell of it. 365 times 25 is 91.25.
There you go. Good job, man. Huh? With a good old pen and pad, you fucking noodles.
Mad quick too.
Yeah.
My math is so on point. You can
Yeah.
never don't question my. If there's one thing you want to question about me, don't question my regular mathematics or my supreme mathematics.
Heard that, dude.
What do you got next?
I
Or
didn't
do you
even
want to tell us?
answer.
Well, I just assumed that you didn't have one. So carry on and give me your answer.
Wow. I think that there's sides. I think there's two different things because you can live a little bit more of a luxurious day to day with your $50 a day.
$50 ain't that much.
Yeah, but
boss.
if I could eat whatever I want every day with an extra $50 a day, and it wouldn't account to anything.
You know what you couldn't
And
eat?
also, tomorrow's not promised. You know what I mean? So that $50 a day is great, especially if I die tomorrow. Because what is saving the last $225
What
for?
the fuck are you going to be celebrating when you're dead, one way or the other?
Well, I'm
Like,
saying,
it's not like you're going to be dead and go, thank God I spent that money yesterday.
yeah. Well, no, I'm not going to be saying anything because it's all black when you die.
Right.
But the reality of that last day might be good. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that the $50 a day is good because tomorrow's not promised, and saving $25 a day is only almost 10 grand at the end of the year if you fucking make it. Otherwise, you just got a good day. Not a good day. $50 ain't shit. But I'm saying an extra $50 a day ain't bad. So I'm just playing the other side of it. Of course, I'm taking the 25 and saving it.
Putting 10 grand in the
just
bank
trying to
every
find
year.
a reason why the other one works.
I just got to play both sides. That's why I like these would you
Your
rather.
jaw fell apart back there.
Your jaw's falling apart.
Whoa, that's the Arnold Bible.
All right, let's
Stronger
get
than
off.
the shelf.
Let's get off that money thing. Would you rather reverse one decision you make every day, or be able to stop time for 10 seconds every day? He's doing it. He's tough, man.
Arnold's fucking
Got to get your reps in.
acting up.
He's got
Yeah.
you getting your reps in.
Yeah,
You're
man.
acting up, Arnold. Stop acting up.
I would want to be able to reverse one decision. I can't figure out
What
like
you would
like,
do
like
to
if I could stop 10 seconds, like what
would you do?
what could I do to make that advantageous?
I was trying to think the same thing. I almost wanted to change it to 30 seconds because I feel like you might be able to get away with something in 30 seconds.
yeah, I guess.
I want to see what her coochie looks like. I don't want to go to jail.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good one. Or just like wait till the register opens at the Wawa, then stop time,
Cha-ching.
clean it out, and
Yeah.
bounce.
10
Yeah.
seconds you could do that too, though.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I got to get out and get off the camera and everything.
Well, no, not in 10 seconds. No,
No, because the camera stops. Because time stops.
right.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow. Did you just make me want to do that one? Because maybe
you just go into that one Wawa to rob the bucket so that she can get in trouble.
Mississippi. Yeah, something.
Yeah.
You got 10 seconds is actually an okay amount of time.
If you can time it right, you can make it worthwhile. I just think I could do more with the ability to go back over the day and go, I'd rather have done this the other way earlier today.
Yeah.
You know, but it's not going to be as beneficial if you can figure out like
A way to fuck the system.
Right. Wait for the lady to start counting the money at the fucking teller at the till, and then and get out.
Or stop time and just fucking ball fist somebody in the fucking face real quick.
Yeah,
and just
there's
feel
always
good
that.
about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I'm doing 10 seconds, dude.
Imagine
Thanks, babe.
somebody's just like standing there, and then all of a sudden 10 seconds, and they wake up again, and just their whole fucking face is busted out. Like I don't know
What the
happened.
hell? What the hell?
Get
What
stung
the
by
hell?
a bee.
Yeah, I'm doing the 10 seconds one. I didn't know until you did that. That's why I not answering.
I'm
right
with
away.
I'm with the 10 seconds too because with the reversing one decision every day, right? Now how often are you going to learn from your mistakes? Right? And how much are you going to take and learn off of those decisions that you make make the wrong decision?
You thinking I only make one mistake per day?
Well, no, but what I'm saying is your big mistakes,
I'm
right?
deep in the mistake
Our
game.
our big mistakes that we make are the things that then shape are one of the things that shape us
dominoes.
going forward. So
Yeah.
if we're able to be like, not really have to deal with the consequences of those things or think about them and like rearrange it,
You
then
make a worse decision.
then things can continuously get worse.
I'm going to be honest, knowing my relationship background, if I was married or in a serious relationship, I might take the pull the decision thing because I could be like, holy shit, that was the absolute worst thing I could have done right there. Let's reverse that one. Let's run that one back. And here we go again. But I'm not. So the 10-second thing, I get to punch somebody in the face, steal money, and maybe grab a coochie. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing, 10
Okay.
seconds. Anyway. What? Did someone say something in the chat?
If you could take back your jizz pics.
Splash zone, baby. I ain't taking them back.
Somebody's paying attention to the show.
I ain't
That's nice.
taking them back. The
I like
splash
that.
zone's forever. I had the splash zone made an appearance in my week. All right.
That's fucking phenomenal.
That was
I'm waiting for it to come back on your memories pictures.
Yeah.
Remember this time last year? Oh,
Yeah. No, it was in my phone. I had to delete it because I had to crop it, so I had to delete a few of them.
I'm trying to like it.
Anyway,
That needs you to like.
yeah, that's a good one. That got brought up. I mean, that made it into my real life. That conversation. I couldn't find the pinpoint of the conversation because I actually wanted to show somebody, to see what they thought about it without actually having.
And what
to
did
talk
they tell
about.
you upon that conversation
got-
you had with them?
No.
Was it a male or a female?
a female? But it was just I just wanted to.
And you were scared to come out of your mouth and say, "Hey, I sent a picture of my semen,"
Well, yeah.
but you will send a picture of the semen. So you're embarrassed to
It's a
even.
different scenario, friend. It's a way different
yeah,
scenario.
it's way worse to do it than to just say
Listen,
that you did it.
Listen, I don't.
What
I
did
have
she
no,
tell you? What
I
did
have
this
no
female
regrets.
tell you?
No, I didn't get into. I wanted to tell her. Right. I'm talking about how this conversation made it into my real life because a person listened to it and brought it to my real life attention about real life attention.
Yeah.
That's
All
how
right.
that's how the subject was broached.
That's how it was broached.
Yeah.
So
Broached.
I'm listening to the show the other day, and
Yeah, no, I mean we're talking. This thing was time stamped and sent around.
Okay.
All right, so there's at least 9 of those views that have to do with that one
Just that.
conversation. But I
What was the
almost,
general consensus on you sending sperm pic?
I'm not exactly sure, but I apologized to her immediately. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right.
My
No.
face-
Of
my-
the people who sent it around.
I don't know. I didn't talk to him. It wasn't that got back to me. It was the consensus that got back to me from it getting around.
And you just didn't get any more information on it.
I'm good on what I did. I don't
Okay.
have any fucking problem with it.
Fair enough.
This Facebook poll I just did said that was a terrible decision. So allow me to apologize for sending you that picture.
That's going to be our poll on Friday's gig.
Right.
We're going to put a poll up that says, is it acceptable to send a picture of your semen rather than your bird?
Dude,
I gotta-
here's the thing.
And let's just see. Let's
I
just
I
see
don't
what-
like
have
my
until
bird.
Friday to get polls
It's a
working.
it's a totally different thing. Are we back on this?
Yeah.
Dude, it's a totally
We're back
different
here.
thing.
What-
It's a totally
Hey,
different thing.
Would you rather send a picture of your dick or send a picture of sperm on your stomach?
I don't
Oh
listen.
God,
There's
your
only
dick doesn't look like my dick,
I'm
dude.
going to tell you. I'm going to
I
tell
have a
you
terrible
one thing.
dick.
I'm going to tell you one thing. I've only sent one female in my entire life dick pics, and that's my wife. Before my wife, no chick ever got dick pics, and until my wife and me were together for a long time, she didn't get dick pics.
I sent 2
And
dick
she
pics.
still rarely, maybe
I tell you
once
something?
every 3 years, she might get a dick pic.
I've sent maybe 2 dick pics.
Never would I just send her a picture of my splooge and
Oh
be
my
like, "What do you
God,
think of
dude.
this, babe?"
Yo, I'm getting fucking pictures, okay? If I sent a picture of my bird to a chick and she sent me a picture of a towel that was completely messed up and said, "Look at what you do to me," I'd be like, "That's fucking hot."
Yeah, but she got
But wouldn't
she
you
got
rather
the bird pick first.
She didn't get no bird.
No, listen. Your scenario
She
that you
sent me
just
pictures.
That's how. But what he's saying is that's how it worked in reverse.
I got you.
She sent me something
But
hot.
also-
I splashed on my gut. I told her what I was going to do. I said, how about you shut up for a second because I'm going to go take care of this. I'm getting hot and warm and things are moving around in my pants, and I'm going to jerk off to a photograph of you because that's how much I want your body on my body. And then I sent the splash zone, dude. I'm Dorney Park.
Yeah.
You are Dorney Park.
I'm fucking Dorney
Now-
Park. I've sent 2 dick pics my entire life and 2 splash pics my entire life.
So
Two splash pits. This is a thing that you do regularly.
I sent
Okay.
one other splash
All right,
pic.
we're getting a better idea of the kind of person that you are.
Sometimes you got an impressive guy, dude. You got an impressive, you know what I mean?
Yo, here's the thing.
Swallow that.
Hold on. Is my wife in the chat? Because that's usually the only girl who's ever listening. I'd like her input on it.
That's not true, though, by the way, because girls be listening to any girl that wants to get in my pants is listening to this show.
So
I
both of them?
promise you.
I'm going to tell you this, is that if I send a bird shot
All 3 of them.
to a girl, and then I see like the little ... like a picture's coming
like
back,
she's typing away.
I'm looking for a nude, right? If she sends me a moist towel, I'm going to be real disappointed. Like, whoa, this doesn't equal out. I sent you, I don't,
But here we go. From before, we talked about unsolicited.
why does the sound keep cutting off?
I don't know. It's not us. I mean, I can say that pretty comfortably. That
It's
that's
the
not us.
metaverse, bro. Just chop it and start it over, man. People know where to get us, dude.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Wednesdays at noon. The thought of it is that it was I didn't want to send a picture of my bird. It would have been an unsolicited picture of my bird. So I sent the splash pic, which is PG as far as I'm
Also
concerned.
unsolicited.
It's not PG. It's PG-13 though. It's
I
not.
think it might be rated R. It's right on the border of PG-13.
You don't know if it's real splash.
It's an adult situation.
It's an adult situation, but no one is. You can't justify that what I
Sexual
sent was
topic.
actual splash. I could have made a sugar water concoction and placed it on my belly and took a picture.
Oh,
of it.
here's a girl
First
in
of all,
the
you have
chat.
to use carob syrup, not sugar water. But that's besides the point.
For the,
Do you believe that like she comes back and goes, I would rather you not have sent that, and you say, "Oh, it was fake anyway," and like that's
was sugar water.
That's just the end of it.
No, I wouldn't fucking. That sounds even worse.
Babe.
I would double down on it.
Listen, babe, pretend you're single
No, she's a bad example.
and you're sending.
Why? Oh, so why
You're
is she
saying
bad?
that- you're
Why is
saying
she
because
bad
she's
example?
with Sean, and Sean's fucking so against me on this.
No, I'm not against you. I agree with you.
No. Okay. Go fuck yourself.
You're still on camera.
Listen, babe, you're sending pictures of your beautiful posterior to another single guy, and then you're waiting for a picture back, and instead of a picture of the hammer,
You're not waiting for a picture back. No one asked for a picture.
You're
you
hoping,
get a
though.
picture of
You're hoping-
just a
you're hoping
splash.
we're in
you
a
get a
trading
picture of
card
the
situation.
splash. What do you think? Is that acceptable to get a splash picture rather than a bird shot?
An incredible splash picture. We're underrating.
Who's judging Incredible?
I'm judging incredible off the
Based on what?
pornography
Other
I've seen.
fucking splashes you've made?
Other splashes I've seen in public.
It's so weird.
When do you see splashes in public?
All the time, bud. It's not none of your business here.
Okay, what else would I rather do?
Jesus Christ, dude. Not even allowed to just splash.
You can splash
Not
all
on
you
film.
want.
I'll splash on film, bud.
Splash on film all you want. It really doesn't make any difference to me. I just was.
You
trying to
guys
give
make me
some-
feel weird about it, all right?
It's weird.
You
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
should.
It's weird.
Fuck you
You don't have to
guys.
feel bad about it, and you don't have to feel perverted about it,
don't.
but you should feel fucking weird about
I'm a
it.
little bit perverted and a little bit weird, but I'm just saying that I'm not gonna not double down on what the fuck I did.
Yeah.
She made me come a lot.
You could fucking
All right,
admit
look,
that you
man,
made a
look,
mistake.
all right,
I
let's-
didn't.
Come on, we've been talking about your semen for 5 minutes. What's the next? Would you rather? We already did this
Yeah,
last
come
week.
on.
My dick is awful. Come on, what? My belly? I will. I'll take a picture. I'll send it to you later. Would you rather run 100 miles an hour or fly at 10 miles an hour?
Fly, dude.
Yeah, fly, right?
Run.
I gotta fly, bro.
Run?
Yeah.
'Cause
Because 10 miles an hour is fucking
But you get to fly.
like
though.
the first probably 2 years that I could do it would be like amazing because I can fucking fly. But then at a certain point, just moving at 10 miles, like that's slower than I can ride a bike. So I'm just fucking up
But
there.
you
like,
can't ride a bike over traffic.
I
though.
can't ride a bike over traffic. But also, depending on how long the traffic is, 10
You
miles
can't.
an
10
hour might
miles
not
an
be
hour, I can
fast
do it.
enough.
But also, you can fly up.
Yeah, it's not about.
Yeah.
To me, it's not about the actual transportation of it. This is a hobby now, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Now
oh,
you're taking drone pics now.
yeah,
all by
like,
yourself.
hey, I'm in Savannah, Georgia. Let me get up in the air
Right.
and just see how it looks around here.
I'll climb Mount
Also-
Everest, dude.
Also, 10 miles an hour, I think, is fast enough to make it feel realistic if I'm jumping from the foul line and flying to the rim
to dunk.
And I will tell you guys every time a wish thing comes up that if I had a magic genie,
You would want to dunk
wish
from the foul
number
line.
one is that I can dunk from the foul line,
10
and
miles an
I'll
hour,
figure
you
the
could-
other two out later.
You could probably dunk from the 3-point line and have it look relatively authentic if you laid your arc out right.
yeah. That-
Then you'd fucking be a legend.
I'm flying. And plus, with being a guy who's on ladders occasionally, say I've tripped, fell, landed on, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna fall off the ladder and
You're
just
never gonna
catch
get banged up,
myself
just-
and float myself right down.
I
Bro.
wouldn't even get the ladder off the
Full
truck.
safety.
For my job, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just fly right
No
up on
ladder
the roof.
needed.
No
Yeah, yeah.
ladder. I'll do it in my car.
Bro, you know how easy it would be to do like window estimates?
Oh, my
and
God.
you fly up with my tape measure a window, boom,
Yeah.
back down. Plus,
I
if
feel
you
like-
could fly
I
and
feel
you
like-
walk up to a customer and instead of pulling out a ladder and climbing up to the window and you fly up to the window, sells the job every time.
I feel like
I'm charging extra.
considering past conversations that we've had, if you had the ability to fly, I'm thinking you're not going to work in construction anymore. You're probably going to monetize the fact that you can fly.
You know every would you rather I'm going to monetize.
Yeah, but you could monetize running 100 miles an hour too. I mean, that's fucking
You could
incredible.
probably monetize
my,
it easier.
my only point is he's not going to be given window estimates once he has the fucking ability to defy gravity.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
probably easier to monetize running 100 miles per hour than it is to monetize flight.
Yeah, back it down a little bit and win the Olympics every year.
Exactly.
I only got to run 1 mile an hour faster than Usain Bolt.
What do you like, Biz?
I like fly just because you get to fly.
That really looked cool on the microphone.
You get to fly, dude.
Yeah, flying.
don't
Okay.
like the shape
You
of
got
this
one
thing.
more, or should we go
I
to
got 2 more.
Good.
Oh, you. Would you rather speak all languages or be able to speak to all animals?
languages?
Animals.
Yeah, animals.
Animals ain't saying shit.
That's it. How do you know?
Because
Yeah, you don't know.
because all animals are doing is eating, fucking, sleeping.
How do
Bro,
you know?
dolphins mad smart, cuz.
Dolphins do be smart.
Dolphins do be smart as shit,
How do you
dog.
know? How do you know gorillas aren't out there just laughing at us like, look at these motherfuckers building houses? We're a
Gorillas
bunch of
in the
idiots.
mist.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Gorillas, pigs is smart, bro. Fucking dolphins, your
Yeah.
dog. You know what I mean? Just talk to your dog a little bit.
That's my
I don't
dog.
care what you.
But if you could communicate with it, you could be like, yo,
Stop fucking farting.
yo, yeah.
Uh,
Don't be coming up here and farting.
no, I'd rather speak all languages. I think we had one like this.
We
before.
had a language one, but
Yeah.
it wasn't animals.
languages,
Okay.
as per points that stood in the previous episode.
All right, yeah, it's animals to me, and it's not even close because I have nothing to say to these people that don't speak English.
I hear
it's
that.
America. All right, last one. Would you rather read minds or accurately predict the future?
Accurately predict the future. Yeah, then you start playing the stock market.
Yeah,
Easy.
it's always money with you.
Always. This is
play-
what life is,
I
dude.
could play the
Yeah,
stock market by
unfortunately.
It's the
reading
game
minds.
of life.
Yeah, you could
I could do damn well with it too, because I
You could do well, but I don't know that you could do
take
as
it.
well. yeah.
exactly as like you could be
Well,
100% on point.
Yeah,
You could do great. Yeah, you could do great reading minds.
Yeah.
But you could be 100%
right.
with
It'd be no
predicting the
losses,
future.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing reading minds, dude. Based off of, I never know if a girl's into me, not into me, what their intentions are. It's really just down to girls right now. 'Cause that's all
you-
I miss girls.
You might
You
be
like-
heartbroken if you get to start reading their minds.
No, well, at least I'll know off the get. You know what I mean? I'll have an idea. I'll know how to
Right.
work it. And then that also goes into any kind of personal relationship or
Yeah.
anything outside of that. You
Your
know
play
what I mean?
is always the babe, and my play is always the money.
Well, yeah, well, whatever. I'm fiending.
I'm
dude.
with you.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm fiending too.
I want to put a girl on
trying
my
to get more of it.
pussy on my mustache or something, dude.
Yeah.
What'd you do? You did minds. I did minds. You did future.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to that. D-Block.
Here on the Tool Shed, we have a segment we like to call D Block.
Who is your D-Block?
Because D Block had 3 phenomenal rappers
And an
one
extra
who
guy.
was like, all right. So this is your top 3 and an honorable mention. Today's Who is your D Block is 90s Babes. How you looking? You got something put together over there?
Yeah, you want to go round table backwards, or you want to switch it up a little bit, or you want to go straight forward?
I think this one might be interesting. I would like to not go first on this one just because I want to see how this plays out, because this is where I think our age gap might come into.
Well, it's still 90s.
It's all 90s, but
You might be early 90s.
I'm an adult in the 90s, and you guys are still kids in the 90s. So who you're looking at and who you're thinking about might be from a whole different pull.
I'm going to be honest. I got 2 on this list that are definitely retroactively the 90s.
Okay.
Because I enjoyed their 90s work as a preteen as opposed to, or a teen.
No, I understand.
As opposed to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
think,
give it to us.
can we do it backwards in a round table?
So
can
what are we
Can we
starting
start
with
with
J.
J.
Hood?
Hood?
Okay.
Yeah, I like that way.
All right. If we're starting with J. Hood, mine's a tie for J. Hood only because these two are interchangeable, which is Selma Hayek and Penelope Cruz.
That's
Okay.
solid.
You could put Penelope Cruz in front of me and tell me that she's Selma Hayek, and I'd go, oh,
Yeah, I see
of
that.
course, that's Selma Hayek.
That makes sense.
You know, other way around. They are two beautiful Latin women, and either or of them may have been what started out my affinity for brown women.
That's good. How I don't know how that only gets to be a J. Hood though. Like I feel like
Yeah, his list got to be crazy.
your list is going to be amazing. Like
Everything I do is amazing.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but
What do you got as J. Hood, player?
my J. Hood at that point in time is Christina Applegate.
Oh,
From Married with Children. And the only reason she's my J. Hood is they were always making her up to look like a slut, and sometimes it was just way too hard.
Yeah.
And other times it was just right.
Yeah.
So that's why
Yeah,
she's
she
my
was a
J.
babe.
Hood.
She was a babe.
yeah,
Total
definitely
babe.
was a babe. Heather Locklear is
good.
my J. Hood.
That's an old head
Little
babe.
T.J. Hooker action.
She was one of my all-time. She's for the longest time she was in my top 2 all-time babes. But I think maybe the retroactive of it and watching her age kind of plays a part in her now demoted to my J. Hood, which is not fair.
That's the upside of Christina Applegate is I do feel like she got prettier.
Yeah. I agree with you. All right, Cove, you're number 3.
My number 3, I'm going to go with Stacey Dash.
Nice.
Because still to this day, I think Stacey Dash may be one of not only the most definitely. If we're taking black girls, right? I think Stacey Dash takes the crown. She's at the top across the charts, as you can see that she's on. She's on the list, so she's top 3 here. But I think I just think Stacey Dash, I think her face, like in Clueless, she was fucking flawless, dude.
Yeah. Oh no,
Flawless.
she's definitely beautiful. I'm just thinking about your secondary statement there. Like she absolutely belongs on a list. And
That she's at the top of black girls?
Yeah, at that time. Like I'm trying to think of like when
Halle
when
Berry.
Tyra.
I still think Stacey Dash beats Tyra.
Naomi
beats Halle-
Campbell?
beats her.
That's fair because
Naomi Campbell is
Because I
fucking
think because
ridiculous.
Stacey Dash had a little bit more ratchetry to her, and
Okay.
I find that
Not-
cuter
not
than
quite
the
as-
supermodel thing.
not
Yeah.
quite as polished.
Lisa
Yeah.
Left Eye Lopez too is my bitch back in the
But
day.
Stacey Dash's bod was hotter than Lisa Left.
Yeah, but Naomi Campbell's bod was hotter than Stacey Dash.
I don't know. Stacey Dash got a bod, dog.
Yeah, she got a different kind of bod. She got the more hood bod.
She got a hot bod.
Naomi Campbell got a classic beauty bod.
Yeah,
And
skinny
Halle
John
Berry,
with big
Halle
feet
Berry
type of
would
bod.
be my number 1 black chick from the 90s,
Yeah, okay.
undoubtedly.
Oh, I mean,
But then
it's
I
a
didn't-
fair statement.
I didn't like her nipples in Swordfish though, and that was later, I guess. I just
Yeah.
thought she had weird. Like I was like, oh, I expected more out of your nipples.
You were hoping for a better nip.
It
I
was
feel
it's
like
like a
Stacey
little
Dash
guy.
probably has a very nice nip.
You could probably find them.
Very beautiful nip.
Her nip probably out there somewhere.
Yeah.
At
so
this point,
she's number 3. What do you got, Pay?
I got Rebecca De Mornay.
I
Don't
don't even
her.
know who that is, bro.
She's an actress. She's been in a lot of stuff, but and
Name a thing she was in.
well, she was in this. She was in the remake of a movie called "And God Created Woman," and
I love that one.
That movie was the first movie where I really understood the power of having cable TV in the house late at night.
She got naked?
and she got railed in that movie on a pool
Nice.
table.
Nice.
And that was
Early in the 90s?
yeah.
Oh.
I think the movie itself was like late 80s, but it didn't hit cable until
Right.
then. And that was, I don't know that she's like traditionally the most beautiful woman you're ever going to look at, but she's, I might be skewed. Like I might be biased.
Can you pull her up on the screen?
I'm working on it.
I was just trying to do the same thing on the phone. I want to see
I'm
who
trying
she
to do
is.
a picture that I can show you. Then you go like, oh yeah, it makes sense. I see why you would have done that.
All right, what's your number 3?
It's an all-time classic for me, baby pop. It's Pam Anderson.
I thought about putting Pam in there,
It's Pam, baby.
I
'Cause
thought-
Pam done changed my whole life around.
Yeah.
Pam was like maybe one of my first Woodies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Pam was just the one with the lips and the Baywatch and the boobs and stuff. And goddamn, man,
She had great fingernails. She always had her hands very nicely manicured.
she has great all the things, man. Something about Pam all the way across the board. Oh, I see it. Oh, I could dig that.
Yeah, I mean, if she's naked.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Look, like I said, she's not going to win a modeling contest, but she's not ugly.
She
and
look,
she's-
but she has more. She has kind of like modelish looks.
Does
like
she get the cheek
sharp
lines?
chin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
a little hot Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can see that.
Pam totally deserves to be on most lists. I didn't put her
babe.
on mine, but she did pop into my
It's like
head as
putting
maybe a
Reese's.
nominee.
It's
you
like
know?
putting Reese's on the candy
Yeah,
list.
yeah. Like
it's
it's a kind of a given.
It's a given.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Pam.
My number 2 is Kelly Kapowski. Right now,
Mm-hmm. I knew
Kelly
someone was gonna pull
Kapowski.
it.
Yeah,
It had to be.
yeah. You not looking back or looking at her now, not super hot, but at the time, I felt like it was being spoon fed to me via Saved by the Bell that I was supposed to think Kelly Kapowski was hot, and I bought into it, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah,
You know.
that's how I felt about Kimberly on the
And I
Power
like
Rangers.
brunettes. I've always liked brunettes. Yeah, Kimberly on Power Rangers, same thing, same idea. But I
Yeah.
think Kelly Kapowski's hotter.
Yeah, well, Kelly Kapowski got to be like a girl and
Yeah.
like a hot high school
hot cheerleader
chick.
chick. Yeah. Brunette. I've always been into brunettes, except for a short stretch in kindergarten and first grade. I did a little blonde thing,
Yeah.
but ever since Kelly Kapowski, I've been a brunette man.
Yeah, I've been a brunette man most of my life, but definitely blondes were like, because it was just a not normal thing. I didn't see a whole lot of blondes. So seeing like the Pams and the Heather Locklears and the shit like that definitely
you
had me
going.
on
All right, what's number 2 for you,
on
Pay?
the boner.
Same show, but I think way better looking Carmen Electra.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She was
totally.
fucking beautiful.
Yeah, Carmen Electra up there.
She drove straight first into the wall at this point, but at that point in time, I really do. I think she was pretty. I thought Pam was pretty, but I think she was prettier.
I'm
than
gonna be
Pam.
honest with you. I didn't have a poster of Pam Anderson on my wall, but I did have one of Carmen Electra. If I'm just being real with you, she
There
had
you
a
go.
gold bikini, and it was something. This is early 2000s.
I was actually now that I'm thinking back to posters, I should have put Christina Aguilera on
I
the
had one
list.
of her too.
Yeah, I had that poster.
Yeah.
I think I had a pretty serious thing going on with me and Christina.
Yeah, I like
It
Christina
got pretty
a lot.
heavy there for a
I'm
while.
gonna be honest. I had a Tiger Beat
Tiger Beat.
motherfucking magazine, and I would be pulling the pictures out. And I had Christina Aguilera and I had Britney Spears above my bed on the.
Yeah, no, Santa Claus brought me a Christina Aguilera poster.
Yeah, that's what's up.
For Christmas one.
I had a big Britney Spears thing too, but that was like a year and it didn't last. And I realized that she was just kind of mall pretty. I remember coining the phrase mall pretty.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, but again, like it was kind of a toss up at that point. Are you a Britney guy? Or are you a Christina guy?
Well, you
And
grow
again,
up
to
and
me,
you realize you got to be a Christina guy. Christina
knew-
got the chops, man.
I knew earlier.
yeah. I
think
didn't know.
I figured it out early on, and also Latin descent. You
Yeah.
know, kind of.
I didn't even know.
We go back to Selma Penelope.
I didn't even know.
It's in there. Yeah. So okay, solid pick for Carmen Electra.
Yeah.
Solid pick. Definitely. She's a babe too. That was like bodied up babes, you know what I mean? Like that's when
Yeah.
you still like Carmen Electra, Pam Anderson, them years you started like noticing like, oh, I like girls' bodies.
Yeah.
I like
Put my hands
I
on
like
stuff.
breasts and stuff.
Yeah, boobs are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring you way back.
Yeah.
My number 2 is still one of my all-time favorites. You could put this on a regular as babes list, not just the 90s babes list, is Jamie Presley. It's just like I just always loved her little mousy demeanor and her little face and Poison Ivy and her boobs are out, and it was something that changed my life forever. And still to this day, changes my life.
Okay.
I could put that on right now. I could watch her in Joe Dirt. I don't care what she's in.
Yeah.
She's another one, kind of like my Rebecca De Mornay on the
Yeah.
list, where like she's not particularly beautiful,
She's got a thing for
but
her.
just like you look at her and you're like, that she's a fucking goer, and she's gonna be wonderful at this. So I gotta hang out with her.
Yeah, I want her. Yeah,
She's
poop
got
in my
like
bathroom.
that attitude. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Poop
just
in my bathroom.
Poop in my bathroom, girl.
I got extra rolls. for
Listen,
you.
I will clean up. You know
Fair
what I'm saying?
enough.
And by clean up, I mean you don't need no toilet paper. You heard me?
Beautiful.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Talking about a little poison ivy, let me pick them blisters. You understand what I'm saying?
You think she has blisters on her ass?
No, I'm saying if
From
she
the
was
poison
covered
ivy.
in poison
I got you.
ivy. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to rub that cortisone on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
little calamine lotion.
I'm trying to send you a splash pic.
They used to love that back then in the 80s.
A fucking Polaroid.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the mail.
Okay.
All right, you're number one.
Without a doubt.
You got a drum roll on that thing?
No, I don't.
Ah, we need one.
He does, though.
I got a snare roll. It's a snare, not a drum. I didn't know it was there. I forgot it was there.
Snares a drum.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt, number one has to be April O'Neil. Cartoon April O'Neil.
Oh man, you're going cartoon on your number one.
Cartoon April O'Neil.
Were you
had
pitching a tent?
She
With the
had
fucking yellow
physique,
jumper?
bro. She had the gear. She was in the mix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she left you wanting for naught. Like she was the perfect specimen of a woman at that particular time.
I like the idea of doing a cartoon Babes list next week or something like that. Babes list, this is fun. I like Babes list.
Everybody
they got me
likes
thinking
Babes.
about it. Yeah, Babes
Yeah.
is good. I like that you went cartoon with your number one.
I thought you might.
Did you ever get a little aroused as a young man watching some April O'Neil?
I was maybe Jasmine. You know, Jasmine might have got me aroused because I think at that point I connected it more.
Plus,
Right.
Jasmine had that. She had a good little outfit on.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
She.
She had like the lacy see-through ribbon showing.
Yeah.
Going on.
I don't remember getting any stiffies to April O'Neil, but that does not mean that it didn't happen. Okay?
I do.
April O'Neil.
Pay.
Let's get a goddamn round of applause for her.
You should also get a drum roll for Pay's
All right.
number one.
Here we go.
And Payday with his number one pick, 90s Babes.
Jenna Jameson.
There it is.
Yep,
That
yep.
fucking whore.
Somebody had to pick that bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Fish
I mean,
hooked that.
we can say what we want about her, but
Fish hooked that. Put
Fish
that on a
hooked that.
cracker.
Put a bowling ball thumb in that thing, huh?
she changed the game.
She did change the game.
She completely changed the game.
That was probably the first woman I ever saw the complete insides of.
Well,
was
here's the
Jenna
thing,
Jameson.
and this is why she changed the game. Because up to that point, you never really saw such a savvy businesswoman across the board. Her
Yeah,
business
that's it.
skills were very
That was a big part of it.
Yeah.
She was a go-getter.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that. I guess there's not too much to.
I mean, we can
We
talk
like-
about it all you want, but I mean, it's pretty obvious what's happening.
But she
there.
was fucking.
She was.
And for,
Everybody. Which makes me feel more comfortable. Like, oh, she's going to do everybody. So
Yeah.
I
So
can get,
I'll get my turn in here
Yeah.
somewhere.
Eventually, my deli number will come up.
And the number one 90s babe for Biz Mighty.
My number one 90s babe.
We already did the drum roll. You're just supposed to get right to the name.
I think I did a really. Can we do this again? Because I want to do what I just did, but I want to do it again because I don't want Payday walking all over.
well, then
my
do it over the fucking
shit.
drum roll. Do it right.
No, he did. He did it for me, and then I did it again.
All right.
He was Ed McMahon. I was Johnny Carson.
Yeah, Johnny Carson doesn't re-announce. He lets
I-
Ed do the plebe shit.
My number one. You got to give it to me, man. You got to give it to me. You got to give it. You got to give it to me. You're
No
not gi-
disrespect.
You're not giving it to me.
Hold on, I'm looking for it. Where
It's the one that says
there
snare
it
rolls.
is.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
See? Now you stepping out of your lane once again.
I can't find it. I just hit three of them. They all said drum roll, and not one of them worked.
I don't.
Go
think-
ahead, man.
It's a setup.
Biz Mighty, you're number one.
My number one 90s babe is Marissa Tomei.
Oh, that's a good pick. That's a solid pick. That's almost as good as Topanga.
Yeah, Topanga was not on my list. I always thought
Topanga should have been on somebody's list.
Yeah, I could see how she would be on somebody's list. I didn't see how April O'Neil, the cartoon version, was going to be on anybody's list, to be perfectly
didn't
honest.
anticipate that?
I did not see that one coming.
You already know, bro. Expect the unexpected.
I hear you, man. Yeah, but yeah, Marissa Tomei, my
This is
cousin
fucking-
Vinny.
Cove on the camera, Payday
This is
on
Cove
the
on the
board.
camera,
True.
bro.
Yeah.
I was actually looking for a different one. Oh, this is what it's motherfucking.
C to the OV.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. All right.
Yeah, man.
Well,
we made it, dude. We did a D block. We did a Would You Rather. We got into a political discussion. We went all the way up. We went all the way down. It didn't matter what chair we were in. All right. We got it done. We lost the live feed 5 times.
Several times.
Kuckerberg wants to take us out.
That's right.
And that's understandable.
We're coming for his throne.
When you're out here telling the truth to the people,
yeah,
the only thing they can do is try to stop us. So what you could do as a listener is you could go to the YouTube, you could go to the gigpodcast.net, and you could subscribe to the fucking channel, and that way you're at least fighting the good fight. You're rooting for the dog. You know what I mean? We're the dog, and the dog is usually delivering the heat.
Yeah.
So
That's
go and do it. We're dogs.
Dogs bite.
Bark. Dogs bite.
You know what would be funny? Let me end with this.
All night.
Imagine
so when
if
you hear it, ow, ow.
You think if DMX barked like a seal, that would have been a cool thing? Can you just imagine that he barks like a seal?
I feel like Seal should have barked like a seal.
Ooh, Seal.
Like right in the middle of Kiss from the Rose. And you're like, oh, this is nice.
That was good. In unison, how you guys did that? That was like really cool. Can we cut it right there? Because that was beautiful.
Enough said.
All right.
Welcome to the gig. You're late for work. Let's get it.
And you know what that means. My mic's off. Yep. But that doesn't matter, because Biz mic is on. And he's about to get mighty.
Give me some more beat.
Give him some more beat, goddammit.
Payday. Is that Max on the beat?
Get that man some beat. Give him some beat, give him some beat.
Yeah, I'ma be on the runway. You be dumb gay, out of breath like pun say. It's a Monday, my shit is so mundane. Got your face looking like you in mud vein. Bloody, did it like you got me and why got it. Up like the blunted. Fuck around, I did it like I done it. Smoke a Newport than 100. If they keep it on whatever, I be flyer than a feather. Never flocking with it. On that walker, that blocker, I did it like you had to. I'm blue eye like Sinatra. They fuck around like they proper. My proper like propeller. I'm propping on that plane. But I am not your fella if they not the one insane. They know about my game. They turn me up the mic, my ASMR with my game. They say that they could do it. They was doing it so stupid. They ain't fucking with my music. I was moving it. I'm toothless. Got it falling out my mouth. Yep. They know about the grip. The shorty coming over and she all about the strip. Yeah. She fall the fuck asleep cause she all about the script. And then she dipping out. She on that scooter with the shit. I got it moving like you do it. Do it like you did it. Holla at these chickens. Fingers still be dripping. Looking like she with me. She really be the missus, but never wanna hit me. Oh shit, the target miss it. I'm retarded when I started it. They know that I was hard as shit. They fucking on the bull because the bull on boulevards again. I'm shooting, I'm moving, I do it for the students. I'm shooting all the students. I'm ruthless with this music. I'ma keep back in the game, back in the fly, back with the chain. Say that they got it in the chain. They ain't fucking with the bull no more. Nope. High like a David Blaine. Angel like I'm Christian. If they with me, then they miss. It's gonna leave coochie and blisters. It's your sister and your mother and your nieces. I be fleecing. Fleecing like I got it bubble goosing with my geeses. They say that they don't need it. If they know that it's the treatment. Fuck around like where them trees it. If they know about the Preakness, I was running like a horse. Horse. Dick like a horse. It can run the course. Call me C Biscuit. They don't wanna miss it. Nope. All they really know is he a cracker like a Triscuit. Hey. Oh, I'm woven. They on about the stoving. If they got it like they got it. And I'm smoking on the Grover. It was blue. Who the fuck knew? This is what I do. Everything is true. I don't ever pay no attention in there. You cannot scare. I'm a nightmare like a horse. That's
with
the
a
second
horse.
Horse, call me Mr. Ed. Now you getting fed. Motherfucker know about me, I'm a motherfucking guzzler. And she gon' suck it when his stomach hurt, a Hummerbird. And she gon' do it, she all about the fluids. They fuck around with me, they know we're all about the true shit.
B40.
They call me B on the trap. I bees in the trap, and I bees in your lap. Throw jizz on my stomach, take a picture with a snap, and I take it and then I show it to you, and she don't want none of that. Oh, she never gonna call a fucker back, and that's how all her friends chill around and laugh at me. Happy, did it, sappy, got a nap, sacky, and Helga Pataki. Hey, with the Arnold, motherfucker starving. Oh, I really know that I'm bearded Jeff Harden. I mean James. I don't play games. I'm bearded like a dragon. Stop complaining. Aiming like I am America Online. Shoot you once, I'm gone by. Call me Style Dripping House. Fuck around, I'm in your mouth. Kids is in your mouth, and they dripping out. Big jism, big fucking jism. It's bars in the prison. Roseanne, oh it's Roseanne. Dick so big that they using both hands. Both grams. I be on the Insta looking at your kid like, oh, sinister thoughts. This is maps like yes. I don't really know about players out here. No. Is that a she? Is that a he? That's a them. We're the Dems. Oh, the fuck a tragedy. Everything you after asking me. They want to blast the heat. Every time I'm jerking off to Jasmine, she's my majesty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's 31 years old.
Yeah.
He's from Fairless Hills. That's
Aladdin.
Shake Jam.
They call me Young Aladdin.
Yeah.
Big Aladdin bars.
Young Magic Carpet.
Young John Madden, Aladdin McEnroe in the flesh.
Busy Apu.
Riley Drippin' Stout. Big cock magic.
You got wild dots on your face.
All I got is dots on my face.
It looks like somebody pressed their eye real hard and looked at them weird shapes that's behind your eyelid on your face.
Bro, there's Mark Abel and then there's me, bro.
That's
and
it.
That's it. That's all.
Also, if anybody's listening and they know Mark Abel,
Tell him to shout us out.
tell
We
him to
gotta talk
get
to
at
him.
me, man. I've been looking for this guy for about a decade now.
No disrespect.
We out.